What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Banter. We are here with episode 4. I am once again your host, Luke. Very excited to bring this episode to you. What a week of sports it was. Again, I have my co-host Avery here. Ave, how you feeling about this episode?
I'm feeling great. I'm super fired up. As you said, another great weekend all around sports. You know, we're going to cover a lot. So thanks for tuning in. And I just want to jump into it.
Awesome. I really do. Yeah. We have UFC on the docket, NBA free agency. The knockout stages of the Euros just ended. We got golf on the docket and more. But of course, as always, before we get into that, we have to ship it over to the one and only Juicy J. Ferdinand for our news of the week. What do we got?
Thank you. So, as you two noted, there is a lot that happened. So, to try and not, stomp on any toes here like last week.
Right.
I have very interesting news.
Sure.
Isn't this what you brought me here for?
Exactly what you're here for.
I'd say that you're trying to avoid the agenda so that we don't spoil anything.
Exactly. I'm trying to not ruin the agenda.
Appreciate it.
Welcome. So, just to start, so you guys know, I only have 2 items today. So give them the attention they deserve.
You got it.
Obviously.
Yeah. We're all ears.
All right. So, as we've been noting, I absolutely adore the Olympics. Some don't. I do. And as we're prepping, I do. I cried again.
One goes around once every 4 years.
I cried again yesterday. So as we're prepping for the Olympics, just so we all know, they start July 26th and they last through August 11th. So that's coming up. We just finished up the trials, I believe. And I think that this podcast needs to get just a little bit more pumped. I'm not really feeling the love.
We got Team USA. Let's go.
It's going to be our first time going live via satellite on video, and they can see our beautiful Team USA poster.
But I made you get that.
That is true. All right. Anyway, I digress. She digresses. What do we got?
So here's where we're at. I'm going to try and pump you guys up. I want your honest opinion after you hear this. This came out. And if you know about it, just act like you don't, because I want your honest opinion.
All right.
A swimmer from Australia. Her name's Kate Campbell.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Here's what her little interview said. And I'll just note that actually we do have Michael Phelps who responded back to it.
All right, let's hear it.
Big dog, big fish.
So much sweeter beating America. Yeah. There were a couple of nights, particularly the first night of competition, where we did not have to hear Star Spangled Banner ring out through the stadium, and I cannot tell you how happy that made me. The US have this infernal cowbell that they ring, and as someone leaves to go to the competition pool, they ring out USA, USA.
Hell yeah, USA.
So pathetic losers.
It is just so.
I like that comment at the end.
Yeah. So just to let you guys know, you can give me your thoughts.
What's the context? Do you have more context?
They were just interviewing, and this came after the 2023 championship, I think, in Japan.
But did we not win? We always.
I don't know if we won, and I can find that out.
Campbell, is she a gold medalist to have this conversation?
She's in the Olympic trials. She's good. Here's the funny thing.
No, I don't need context.
Here's the funny thing. You guys can continue.
I dropped an F-bomb there. I said it.
You can continue after this, but just to let you know, Miss Kate Campbell did not make it to the 2024 Paris Olympics.
That's what I'm talking about.
Obviously
USA.
Even if she got there, she's getting wiped down by Katie
Ledecky.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
I don't even know if they're in the same event, but she's getting wiped down by Katie Ledecky.
Katie Ledecky will just do it for fun, just to prove that point. Sorry for being the best. What do you want me to say?
I know. Sorry for being the big fish, the big whale, if you will. USA's on top.
Yeah, there is a young Australian girl. I don't think it was her because
I remember from
last time. I think she was 16 or 17, and she's a dog. She's really good.
Oh,
she was competing
her coach?
with Katie. I think Katie ended up beating her. Yeah, her coach is something about her coach. Her coach was nuts, right? In the stands, he cheered like crazy. I mean, good story. I don't care about her now, but
no, she didn't qualify. Yeah. Why are we talking about her?
I don't think that's her, but now I'm anti-Australia.
Okay.
Land down under.
Wow, that's what happened?
It's the Olympics time. You chirp at USA, I'm out on Australia.
Yeah, she really did. I wonder how the team feels. Like, oh, why did you do that?
Yeah. No,
just amping everybody up to take them down.
Yeah.
We needed the energy. It's good. It's good.
I'm sure we took it out of context a little bit, but I don't really care.
Do you want... So, I don't need to play it, but Michael Phelps does respond to it.
I would love to hear it.
Yeah, people
I love Mike.
It. Yeah, because it was kind of...
He's probably more aggressive than we are.
And by the way...
in his comments?
Yeah.
I mean, he can back it up. Yeah.
PG because we're only 5 minutes into this pod, but if we were like 2 hours in, I probably would have let some things slip, and I wouldn't be surprised if Phelps was really irritated by that.
Yeah.
He's very much a patriot.
Yeah, let me see, let's see if this works.
How happy that made me when we're like right next to each other in the warm-up areas. The US have this like infernal cowbell that they ring, and as someone leaves to go to the competition pool, they ring out USA, USA, and I've never wanted to punch someone more.
Wow, have you seen that? No, but I appreciate your comments, Kate. Somebody said that to me, I would lose it. I would literally make them eat every word they just said about me. Because people have done it. Chad Leclos, Thorpe.
It's the French guy.
You guys have all talked about me. And I had the last laugh. So, for the Americans...
He just threw out names for no reason.
If you see what I just saw, that's the first time I saw it. I would watch that thing every single day.
Absolutely.
To give me that little extra bit of just Oh, I mean, that's awesome.
That's why we're the best.
He's ready. That's why we're the best. He's ready to go back in the water.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's got to come out of retirement. Just join the women's league and beat that bitch.
Motivate an insane person and then give them more bulletin board material. Just give them that edge.
He called out 2 guys that had nothing to do with his comments just because it juiced them up so bad.
That's right. And I'm hoping that it juices you guys up.
I'm fired up.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say there's no Australians listening to this. And I'm just going to say one more time. USA, USA, USA.
USA.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Thanks, Jessica. What do we got next?
Yeah. So next. Okay. July 1st just passed.
Indeed. It is July 2nd.
Yep. Yesterday. And you know what that means.
Don't say it. Don't say it. We got it. Hey, hold on. We know what it means.
It was a long month.
It means that, don't say it. Abe, what does it mean? It's July. Pride Month is over.
Yeah. It was a long month. Like I said.
Yeah. It was, okay. All right. Are we right?
No.
Okay. Damn it.
It's Bobby Bonilla Day.
Oh, that's good day. That's absolutely good day.
Just to throw the stats out there, if you don't know, I'm going to let you know. Happy to hear you guys talk about it.
Next year's the last year, I think.
That's it?
It's either 25 or 35.
Wow.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's been, 30 years, though?
Don't be rude during the news break.
Yeah, sorry. It's Jessica's time, not ours.
Unless I grant you permission to speak.
Yeah.
So every year on July 1st, it's known as Bobby Bonilla Day because every single year on this date, the Mets pay Bonilla more than $1 million for a season he never actually played. Here's the stats. I decided to break them down so everyone really understands. Bonilla's final stint, so he played with the Mets.
Bonilla.
Bonilla.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to say it like that.
Yeah,
Bonilla. Sorry, I'm actually Italian.
Bobby Bonilla.
So what do I do?
Bobby
Just call him Bobby B?
Yeah, Bobby.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin
Bobby
that.
Bag of
All right,
Donuts.
Bobby B's final stint with the Mets was in 1999. He hit .160 with 4 home runs and 18 RBIs over 60 games. Rather than bring him back, the Mets decided to buy his contract out, which was $5.9 million. Now, interestingly, I didn't know the Mets decided to defer his payments for a decade. So the team offered to pay.
I thought it was like 30 years.
Yeah.
The team offered to pay Bobby B in installments every single year, starting July 1st in 2011 through July 1st, 2035.
35. Yeah.
Jesus.
So that's 24 years.
Yep. Financially speaking, since I know we're all financially savvy, they negotiated, I guess this is Bobby's team, between the Mets, an 8% interest rate. So his annual check comes to about $1.19 million. That means that Bobby makes he's going to make in total $30 million instead of that $6 million.
Incredible. I hate seeing other people live out my dream.
Of doing nothing and making a lot of money from it.
Exactly.
That's like, Yeah, that's pretty funny. All like considering he didn't play because Ohtani's contract is going to be like that too. He got that
But he's an
700
absolute dog.
Is it 700 mil? I think it was 70 for 10
Ridiculous.
years or something like that.
$750 million.
And it's all deferred. Like I think he's making like $2 million.
Yeah, he's
or
like
something.
making like the league minimum or something.
Yeah,
Something crazy.
But he's actually elite.
The dog, yeah,
Bob,
he's like
Bobby B, man. I don't know. He just lucked out. I agree. I always said my dream was to be like a one-hit wonder type of thing, where I'm just played on the radio all the time, and then I'm on cruise control, or like a bullpen catcher / backup quarterback kind of person, where I'm making the money,
Not
signing
getting
the
hit.
autographs. I'm not getting hit. I'm not working that
No,
hard.
yeah.
I'm working just hard enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I
guess
like where your
what?
head's at.
We're not done with Bobby B.
We've got more?
Bonilla. Sorry,
Bonilla.
I said it again. He gets another $500,000 annual payments in a separate deferred plan paid by the Orioles.
Wow.
For the like same situation.
I have to assume so.
Wow! Shout out to that guy's manager
And agent.
Or agent.
Yeah,
sorry.
the agent's doing incredible work. The Lord's work, if you will.
Yeah, as close as to it as you can
Yeah,
get.
yeah.
He's like Iverson's guy. Iverson's agent made him. He's like not able to touch like 30 mil
Yeah,
until he's
yeah,
55
yeah.
or something. Which when I was a kid, I was like, "What a
What are you-
nerd, dude! Give him his money with Rick." But no,
It
definitely
makes sense if you don't know how to manage your money.
He'd have been bankrupt.
Yeah.
I think it was
absolutely.
because he was acting irresponsibly.
I'm sure that's the
And
case.
I think his agent didn't tell him. So he actually thought he went bankrupt until he said, hey, by the way, when you hit 40 or
Here's
something,
25 mil.
yeah, you get the rest of your money.
yeah,
What have you-
I could be lying, but
We don't need
part of the
context here.
banter.
It sounds
I
good
don't know.
enough.
yeah. It's just banter.
Yeah.
All right, so based on this, I actually have 2 trivia questions.
Oh gosh.
You go
So-
first. I'll take the second one.
So,
Or we're
one.
playing together.
You'll see. Yeah.
Well,
we'll
one
see.
of the trivias, I think, well, I'll go with the easier one just because obviously
So
we
I take
have
the
2
first one.
teams already named. But in Bobby B's 16-year career, what teams did he play for? And you can say the ones that we obviously already know.
no
Mets.
clue.
Thank you, Avery.
Mets and Orioles.
Yep.
For some reason, I would say Expos, but I don't know why.
Wrong.
Cards.
Yes.
Let's go.
Why did you say that?
I don't
Avery
know.
knows
I
more
like the color
baseball
red.
than
How many-
Luke.
how many
Avery knows
total?
more baseball than Luke.
How
What?
many total?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Holy cow. I just want to be clear. Bobby Bonilla is famous because he was a Met and they signed like the most hilarious, they made the most hilarious deal with him ever. I mean, you know that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, that
you're
date,
my
by the way-
co-host, so I'm saying it to you. But as far as like who he
Yeah,
was as a
actually
player,
played
I
for-
have
yeah.
no clue. Like,
I thought you-
anything I say is a guess.
I thought he was a pitcher.
No, he was an infielder, I think.
Okay.
Bobby Bonilla, come on. If you're, well, that's a good pitcher name.
Yeah, it's a good pitcher.
Yeah.
Because I
I
read
mean-
off his stats.
Yeah, you said he batted 167
Yeah, but he had like 4 home runs.
in his career.
No, in
No, that
60
one
games.
season.
Oh, in one season.
He had 18 RBIs. You want me to read off his career stats? Because I will.
I
No,
don't know.
let's just
Nobody
run
does.
through his teams and move on because I've no one.
I can guess one more, and Luke guesses one more. Maybe?
Yeah, fine.
The Reds.
No.
The A's.
No. So he played for the Pirates, the Orioles,
I was
the
gonna go
Marlins.
Pirates.
The Marlins, which he won a World Series with. Stop hating on Bobby B. The Braves, the Cardinals, the Dodgers, and the White Sox.
Give me his
step
stats.
your game
I
up.
gotta,
Fine.
come on, just,
Gotta
real
hear
quick,
this out.
just batting average,
Yeah.
home runs, RBI. That like maybe that's
Sure,
it.
sure thing. So, I think this is his total stats.
Yeah. That's
So he hit 279 total.
Wow.
He had 2,010 hits, 287
What?
home runs.
He had 2,010 hits. Is that
Were
what
you talking about the same guy?
I'm
This is-
still reading the stats. 287 home runs,
He's
That's
a
a
legend.
that's a decent
It's like a
amount.
Hall of Famer.
1,173 RBIs, and 1,084 runs.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dude,
I
Bobby
think
B
that
was
the
alright.
Dude, we're
takeaway.
slighting him. Everybody's
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
my
this
bad.
contract,
Yeah, the
but this guy was a
takeaway
hell
is
of
we
a
need to put
player.
his jersey right behind you.
Yeah, we need a Bobby B jersey, dude.
A sign frame.
I
one,
feel bad
please.
for him because I mean, listen, I know.
I don't think he feels bad for himself.
No,
No, he's
sorry.
living life.
I don't feel bad. Yeah, that's a good point. What I mean by that is, I mean, you know baseball decent more than the average person. I know baseball way more than the average person. For me, Bobby B is a New York Met with the most hilarious contract ever. He's legit as hell.
He's legit.
That's
player,
because
for
you
sure.
have to
That's
listen
great
to the
stats, yeah.
podcast.
It's like not Hall of Fame, but
It's like all-star
if he won
worthy.
like World Series, if he had like a 3 World Series and he's batting 280 and he's at 287 homers and I don't know,
2,000 hits.
he's an infielder. I'm guessing. What are we position? Probably an outfielder. I'm just way. Everything I say is wrong. Maybe he was a pitcher.
Everything we know about Bobby Bonilla is a lie.
Yeah. What position did he play?
He was a third baseman.
Yes, that's it. That's a hell of a career, dude.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, he deserves all of what was happened.
All right.
He probably deserves more money.
Yeah.
Now that we're talking about it.
No, yeah. Pay this man. What are we doing? It's Bobby Bonilla Day, baby. Come
Bobby
on.
Z.
Yeah, and the day July 1st, to Luke's point a long time ago, like it is hilarious date. The Mets celebrate it to make fun of the contract.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's awesome. I love it.
Mets got away with murder.
I'll never forget July 1st.
Why is
That's why they're celebrating.
I guess that was his last contract,
Yeah,
and then he was
yeah.
old. Yeah. But
My final trivia question is:
Yeah.
What Hall of Fame player also has deferred payments?
Hall of Famer? Kurt Schilling.
I was gonna say Kurt Schilling.
Wrong.
Dang. I don't know
We're on the same
why.
page. I don't know. Can we need a hint for this.
I think I can
Crazy
give you a
trivia
hint.
questions. Like they're not.
I
have
just
nothing
thought
to
that
do with,
you
like-
guys like knew sports.
It's just like who has deferred payments? Who's in the Baseball Hall of Fame? A-Rod? No, he's not in the Hall of Fame because he juiced. Is he?
Is that
No,
controversy? We won't bring that up, should we?
A-Rod juicing?
Yeah, like do you
A-Rod
think he
juiced.
should
They
be
all
in it?
juiced.
A-Rod juiced.
But do you think he should be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes. I mean, pre-Juicy's Hall of Fame.
Honestly,
Pre and post juice, he's still really good.
I think he should. I mean, I know that
And
it's
even
like
like
the same
juicing
argument.
baseball is like,
Dude, that's what I'm saying because like
He still had to do it.
I played baseball and I've juiced. No, no. I played obviously a lot of baseball in my life, and I understand that juicing. It's not like it just gives you muscles. It just gives you a whole lot of energy, and you recover faster, and you're healthier, and you feel better, and all that stuff. So obviously there's an advantage. But as far as hitting a baseball goes, like Barry Bonds hit like 330. That has nothing to do with strength. I mean, it does have to do with like, oh, I feel good and I'm on it, I'm sharp.
Mm-hmm.
But steroids in football, for example, would
World of
be
difference.
way more of a difference. So listen, Barry was a beast before the steroids, and he was the GOAT after and during, I guess I should say. But I just don't know how much steroids really helps you hit the baseball.
make contact.
Make
Definitely,
contact
yeah.
with the baseball.
Not at all.
And ultimately, being super strong, I mean, okay, it helps, but there are like Trey Turner has hit 25, 30 home runs, and he's a little guy because just like in golf, making correct contact is really what accelerates the ball, not necessarily being like very
The
strong.
hog, yeah.
I would hit the ball further than Alex, and he's way stronger than me,
Right.
but I know how to swing a bat and
Right.
make contact. So, yeah. Sorry, we derailed, but I
That's
thought
fine.
about the Juice Hall of Fame stuff a decent amount.
I just feel like you need to take then an average player and a really good player and let them both juice and see how well they both hit. And a normal person.
We should do it.
That's great.
Music commish, Rob Manfred, what's
Here,
up? You got ideas?
Idea. Jessica juices.
I'll
I
do
don't
it.
juice. You referee. We see what
Let's get
happens.
it. Let's get
Oh wait,
it.
what was the third person? We just need a juicer and a non-juicer.
No, we need two juicers to see if we'll come back to this.
We'll come back to it. So
Let's
one
go.
of us is going to
You
start
guys
juicing
are
and
like-
see how good we get at baseball.
Sorry, we went side. Who,
Let us know what's the
what
best
Hall of
juice out
Fame
there.
player also deferred payments? I'm
Yeah,
telling
no
you
clue.
guys at this
No
point.
idea. No
Ken
idea.
Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey?
He makes nearly $3.6 million every year through
Hell
this
yeah.
year, 2024, from the Cincinnati Reds.
He's a
Oh,
big
yeah.
time photographer now, just like the
Oh,
big
yeah, I've
unit.
seen. Yeah.
Did you know that your boy Randy?
No, he's a
Randy.
photographer
Oh
now.
yeah, he worked at the Super Bowl or something like that.
Oh, shit.
yeah.
I'd be pissed if I was behind him,
Oh, no. He's on my starting rotation all time, by the way.
as he should be.
Pictures.
The unit.
Yeah, well, I did have something come through on my handy dandy ESPN app.
Okay, what we got?
Really?
It's kind of breaking news. You guys are going to be mad about it, but it is technically kind of like breaking news.
Okay.
Angel Reese,
Yep. What we
Kaylee
got?
Clark,
What we got?
named All-Stars.
What?
Yeah.
Kaylin's been cooking.
Yeah, she has turned it around a little
And
bit.
Angel Reese, I think she
Angel-
was the first. She was the first. Sorry, I might have been away from the mic. Angel Reese was the first WNBA player to ever record 10 double-doubles in a row.
She's a double-double machine. Yeah.
That's very unimpressive overall as the league is concerned, but I guess she's in the league, so good for her. She made history.
Yeah.
But 10 double-doubles in a row.
Yeah, it doesn't sound too crazy. Yeah, it doesn't sound
Brittany
like
Griner, what are we doing?
I don't know. That's a good point.
And then Caitlin Clark, I know she had a slow start, but she's the first in the league to 300 points, 100 assists, and 100 rebounds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I thought she wasn't playing that well, but I guess
dogs.
Nobody was really playing that well in the league, I guess.
There's 12 teams.
Yeah. But,
everybody's an all-star. You get an all-star. You get an all-star.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's cool. I'm happy.
But
I guess I'm happy for both of them.
Good. That's all I got.
Jess always brings the heat. 4 episodes in, hasn't missed.
Yeah. So that concludes the news for Jessica. Thank you, Jessica, as always, for bringing that to us.
Hell yeah.
All right, so time to dive right into the agenda of the podcast. Abe, I think it's best to open up with the most exciting part of the weekend, which was UFC 303.
Yes,
UFC
sir.
303. And I'm going to let you just carry this one because I know you love the fighting. I'm happy to chime in. I have my comments, but why don't you run with this one?
First note, I'm going to say, we talked about it last podcast, but we're sorry that McGregor wasn't in the headline. But the substitute was not bad at all.
Yeah.
We had Alex Pereira, Poatan versus Jiri Prochazka. However you say his name. Sorry, Chechians out there.
It doesn't matter anymore.
How do you say Chechia?
Chechnya, I think.
No, but you're not from Czech Republic. You know, we said.
It's
Czechia.
Czechia.
All my Czechias out there, I'm sorry for mispronouncing his name, but we'll just call him Jiri from now on.
Yeah.
But what a fight! I just want to comment first off. Did you see their stare down?
I didn't. You mentioned it to me, so I went to take a look. But yeah, you over a 4 minutes.
Over 4 minutes, basically a whole round of them just staring down with the introductions while Bruce Buffer is out there doing his thing. They were just locked eyes,
and so they just didn't turn around when
didn't
Buffer
move.
left, and they were just staying.
Yeah, all locked in until they touched gloves.
They kissed.
They did.
Well, that's huge.
Yeah,
I can't believe I missed that.
They cut it out.
Oh,
yeah, the UFC cut it out.
Public doesn't need to see that. Yeah. Get a room.
Yeah. But moving into the fight, though, oh my gosh, the end of the first round was hectic. We saw Alex Pereira knock this guy out with a buzzer beater.
Yeah, it saved him, right?
So, yeah, he got saved by the bell, literally.
Yeah. Good show.
Great show.
Yeah.
Great show. Those 90s days were incredible.
Yeah. But staying up late, watching George Lopez and the nanny.
So loud.
By the bell. Yeah.
Just wake you up out of your sleep.
Yeah.
But
that he actually was saved by the bell.
Literally,
I was talking to Alec yesterday about it too, and he was like, "Oh yeah, he KO'd him."
Definitely did. He was stumbling, he stumbled back to his corner. He stood up in his corner the whole time, didn't sit down.
Yeah,
didn't want to get those muscles.
He didn't know where he was.
Yeah, had to keep the muscles awake, I guess. But then he walks into the second round. He does make it, and what a head kick by Pereira. He just got hands of stone, feet of stone. This guy brings the power to the UFC.
Yeah, so it was a left-footed kick. I'm sure he can kick well with both of his feet, but I'm no expert in fighting, but it was, I believe, a switch kick in that it was there was a little feint in the right, and it's weird. He was so quick that his feint with his right hip/leg was so quick that Jiri flinched on the left side. It felt like Jiri flinched on his left to guard that right kick more than Pereira even did it. Mm-hmm. And he was so quick with it that the left leg was coming up as Jiri's, flinching to his left. And it was just a clear, right in the temple, boom, knockout. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, that's a hell of a knockout.
Only thing I wish that he got the walk-off knockout. Herb Dean didn't stop the fight after that head kick, so Alex Pereira got a few shots on the ground, but the walk-off knockout would have been insane.
Yeah, he was moving a little bit. It wasn't like the Usman and Leon Jones?
Leon Edwards. Yeah.
That one, Usman was...
He was knocked out. Yeah, his eyes were wide open. Yeah. That was a bad knockout. What a fight, though, that was.
Yeah. Pereira's a bad man.
Pereira's a bad man. So...
He lost to Izzy, and then, he was ridiculously great before losing to Izzy. He had already beat him, just to be clear. He was phenomenal before the UFC, and then since beating Izzy, he's been phenomenal.
And he went up in weight class as well. So he went up from 185 to 205, and he's got belts at both divisions. What's next for the guy?
Yeah, well, did you see John Bones?
No, what did John Bones say?
Oh, wow. So Bones was like, I think he just tweeted it, but obviously after 205 is heavyweight.
Yep.
And that's where John Bones fights, and he's the greatest of all time. I mean,
absolutely.
I don't think you could argue. I don't think anyone even tries to argue anything else. But he said, all right, Pereira's decent. He's got to go beat someone else. I forget the name he said. He's got to go beat him, and then maybe I'll give him a shot. But I would just choke him out pretty easily, just like I did Cyril Gane, and just move on. And I was like, all right, fair enough. I mean,
you got to take it for his word. That's John Jones.
Yeah, I mean, Pereira's a bad dude, but like, if not that if Izzy beat him, John can, but as far as like being big and strong, John is going toe to toe with him in that regard. Like, he's been up to 250. He fought at like 250, 260.
Well, John's coming from lightweight, and he just moved up to heavyweight recently.
Yeah, but he showed that he could move with the heavyweights. Like, when I saw Jones fight the first time in heavyweight, I was like, he's the best, but there's no weight limit here, and Cyril Gane's going to come in very heavy. And did he fight in Ghana?
Cyril Gane? Yes.
No. Did John Bones Jones fight in
Oh,
Ghana?
he tapped him out.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. And like when they were fighting, I was like, they're just Cyril Gane and maybe not Stipe, but like the other heavyweights, like Ngannou, like they're way bigger than I had ever seen John Bones Jones. And he showed up, I believe it was 258, if I'm not mistaken. And I was like, that's a big boy, and he's carrying it pretty well.
Yeah.
So as far as Pereira being like this big, strong guy at 185 or 205, going to heavyweight, like
it's a big difference.
He doesn't. But he's quick. He's got the kickboxing ability, but he's not going to be necessarily stronger than any of those.
So one thing I would say with Pereira, I would say at 185 at middleweight, he's definitely cutting weight. At 205, he's probably not cutting too much weight. So I think he could bulk up to heavyweight.
No, I think he could for sure, and I think he'd be competitive. I'm just saying that his advantage, not his only advantage, he's obviously just a great fighter. Yeah. But one of his big advantages is he's very strong relative to the people that he's fighting.
Definitely.
Not that they're not, but he's ridiculously strong. If he's fighting Ngannou, which he wouldn't because he's not doing the UFC anymore, but Cyril Gane or John Bones Jones or Stipe Miocic or whoever's...
Tom Aspinall is the one we left
out. Yes, Aspinall is who... that's who...
Exactly, yeah.
He's not going to be... Maybe he is. I could be wrong. I'm sure he's very strong or as strong as them, but he can't... He's not going to be able to use that quite as much as he can against lighter opponents. I don't think. So, yeah, I thought that was cool from Jones. One thing I wanted to bring up to you, and I know you have other fights that you want to talk about, but... I saw a statistic, and we were talking before the show. I couldn't find it. This was the one. It was about, so I guess avoiding talking about John Jones in this conversation, it had Khabib as the GOAT, which like some people say, but like because Jones, like he's just controversial. So people like, he didn't fight for a few years, and people just started to leave him out of the conversation, and then he's had a weird past, so people don't talk about him that much. But anyway, it took you through Khabib's achievements or career, I guess, and then it took you through Pereira's.
Yeah.
And the record's different, but Khabib was only 13-0, I think.
In the UFC?
Yeah.
So I think he finished at like 30-0 total, but I think it was something like 13-0 in UFC.
And Pereira, it was only 4-1. But as far as like...
the people he fought.
As far as belts won and titles defended and like champions beat, I think... Pereira might be like
a better
above.
resume.
Like it's either the same or like his is even better. Like if you don't consider the full record and you just consider how many like trophies won to try to relate it to other sports, he's already there. So where do you put him as far as like the GOATs of UFC after only 5 or 6 fights?
I want to preface this as saying my UFC lore, my UFC knowledge really started around the COVID era. But in this time, since around 2021, I will say Alex Pereira has been the most dominant guy that I've seen in the UFC. And it's by far because he's just starching champions. Like, he's knocking out the best guys in 2 different weight classes. It's like you don't see this ever. And this guy is just fantastic. And he's so scary. He's so threatening, always on the feet. And, like, he just doesn't wrestle. He doesn't care. He's just like, I'm going to stand on my feet. And
indigenous tribe vibe kind of guy. Like... who was I saying the other day?
He reminds me of the twins from Breaking Bad. Dude, it's so on point. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. The cartel guys.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say like he doesn't communicate enough. Like in a sense that like it's fearful because he doesn't speak and there's like no effort to learn English at all. He's
exactly. That's the scariest part.
He's like, someone will translate for me, or they won't. I don't really care that much if you understand what I'm saying.
Even when he speaks Portuguese, it just sounds scary. I'm scared of this dude.
Yeah. But anyway, I want a soft sort of ranking for you as far as like top 5, top 10, top 15.
Top 5.
And I want you to consider the Georges St. Pierre. I know you said you don't know everybody, but I want you to try.
Guy.
Yeah. Really crazy.
Yeah. Shout bills.
Shout out Nick Mulvey. Nick Mulvey found him. He's like, guys, Chuck Liddell's here.
What a man. He was awesome, too.
I would put Pereira over him, I think. I don't know.
Over Liddell?
Yeah.
By far, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, give me some
my top 5. Yeah. Or like favorites or like these guys I think are the best.
The best ever, but I want to consider career, too. Like, you can, I guess, if you really feel strongly. But, like, I don't want you to just say, oh, Pereira is better than McGregor. Because he's better than McGregor. If McGregor,
I think McGregor's
has won all these belts, and I think he was
the double champ.
You know, but Pereira's gonna do that too.
He is a double champ already. He might be a triple champ, the first ever triple champ.
So consider it all. Is he top 5 for you? Is he top 10?
Yeah, I think he's top 5 for me.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So okay, let me say. I'll just name some guys.
Okay.
And you say better or worse.
Yeah.
Career.
Yeah.
John Bones Jones.
No.
Could be Nurmagomedov.
I don't love his resume. Like you said.
Yes or no?
No.
No Khabib's higher?
Yeah.
Conor McGregor.
So, yeah, Conor's no. Yeah, Conor's above him for sure.
Okay. Anderson Silva.
Top 10 maybe.
All right.
Anderson Silva I put above.
Okay. That might be for lore purposes too, like the history.
I just love Anderson. Like this fighter is so cool.
Yeah. Georges St. Pierre.
I'm not familiar with this game.
Okay, all right, we'll just pass on Georges St. Pierre.
I mean, you're gonna say Izzy?
Yes.
I'm gonna put him above Izzy because he's got belts in 2 classes. I know it's like 6 or 7 fights.
Didn't Izzy go down and up?
Izzy tried to win he lost to Jan Blachowicz.
Oh yeah, but that was 205, right?
205, yeah. So he did what Izzy couldn't do.
I flipped big on Izzy. I did not like
him. I love Izzy.
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't like him?
No, and now I like him a lot.
Izzy.
Yeah, I didn't get him. I didn't get it. And I like anime.
Yeah.
I've been bullied for it.
Yeah.
So, but he
just stands on it, bro.
He was like cringy. He was a little too much. Like Jamal Williams, I love the way Jamal Williams does anime. Yeah. He just recently went to a Pokemon convention, like a tournament.
Okay.
And they had no clue. They were doing an interview with him, and they were like, "Yo, we're here with Jamal Williams. He's a footballer for the Detroit Lions."
That's a team?
And they were like, "Tell us a little bit about yourself." He's like, "Yeah, I'm Jamal Williams, and I really like anime and Pokemon." And they were like, "All right, cool, thanks." You know Jamal Williams? He's a guy who's very passionate. He's a running back.
Yeah.
You remember him?
Yeah, he signs like Pokemon things in the training camps,
in the
like the
kids.
Yeah,
he's the man. He's awesome. I love people that nerd out about stuff and they just don't care. They're just that into it. They just love it.
Reminds me of Melvin and like Twilight and stuff.
Yeah.
He just loves
vampire films.
Romance. Anyway, sorry, got a little off track there, but all right. I just wanted to see where your gauge was because I saw the numbers.
I'll give you top 10.
I think I just wanted to see where you put Pereira, but so it sounds like he's hovering around 5.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to put Max above him. I love
Holloway?
Max Holloway. Yeah.
What about Poirier? Nah, Poirier's better.
No.
Poirier's a legend.
He is a legend, but I love Max
Gaethje.
Holloway.
You like Gaethje?
I love Gaethje, but he's like he just goes out there and he just not reckless abandonment. He's just having fun out there. Like he does not really care about. Like he obviously cares about the win, but like he's just putting on a show every single event.
The weirdest thing about him is he's a wrestler.
Yeah, and he doesn't care.
He doesn't wrestle.
He's like, I'm throwing strikes.
Ever since he got to the UFC, he's a striker, and he's maybe the hardest puncher at his weight class. Yeah. And it doesn't make sense to me. I root for him, and I'm like, dude,
what are you doing? Do you want to win?
Like you hurt him really badly, and you're letting him kind of stumble. Yeah. Just shoot for his legs. You're a wrestler. You know what to do now when he's tired.
It's going for the bonus.
And he'll be like, no, come on. Yeah, he is.
I love that. You gotta love that about these people, dude.
They really do go for it too, which you gotta appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love the UFC. Dana White puts on the events of the century.
Well, that was mainly the Pereira stuff. Unless you have anything to add, or Jessica, if you have anything to add about Alex Pereira. But if not, we can talk about some of the prelim stuff.
No, but I was right about a knockout, just the wrong person.
Yeah, she did call the Jiri knockout. She just thought it would be the other way around. Jiri got
so close.
Knocked out twice.
Yeah. We'll start probably when football season comes around. We'll start Jess's gamble,
bets.
Jess's parlays of the week.
Something goes with Jay.
Be careful, but she hits big sometimes.
Your own risk out there.
Yeah, she's hit big plenty of times. So, we'll see. We'll avoid the UFC for now, but we'll see what happens when the NFL season comes around.
No one ever wins in the UFC.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, what happens is you get excited and you just start. You don't create a parlay with the UFC. You just don't.
You bet
do
with
it.
your heart in the UFC.
Yeah, you do.
Because it's just one
You're
guy.
like, I like that guy.
Yeah.
I just watched him walk out. He's gonna win.
Just walk out. Music's awesome. Can't not bet on this guy.
So what else do you have for the UFC?
Two more things in the UFC. Peyton Talbot. I know we called him last episode. He got a 20-second knockout.
You did. Man.
Oh, I did.
That was all you, brother.
Fair enough. Appreciate me. Give me all the love that you can at this point. But Peyton Talbot, 20-second knockout with a jab. It might have been one of the first punches he threw in that fight, but it was just a straight jab, like a right-hand jab, and just put this guy to sleep.
Didn't he, I feel like I saw, I mean, I did. I know I saw it, but he, looked at the camera and, threw his hands up, and he was like, all right, I guess we're done here.
Yeah. And then he botched a backflip as well.
Oh, yeah.
Go watch that.
You texted me right away. You were like, I told you. I was like, yeah.
Dude, I think it's the power of bad tattoos. Did you see his tattoo on his solar plex?
You don't like it?
It's just like a dark circle, and then he has it on his back, too.
That's rad, bro.
It's whack.
I was going to get that. You don't think I should?
No. Maybe get it red ink, though.
Let's get a fan vote. Should I get a black or red just circle right in the middle of my chest?
And then you have to get it on your back, too.
Oh, so it looks like there's a hole in him?
Yes.
No, I'm still in. That's cool, dude.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Sick.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
No, you like Conor McGregor's tattoo.
Conor McGregor.
I just want a leg sleeve, but I don't know what to get.
No, he has the when he opens
tiger.
his Isn't he have the wings plan?
I like Iguodala.
Iggy.
He's got the wings on his back, so when he opens his arms, the wings flare out.
Yeah.
It's
Like
tough,
AK-47.
but I don't have the lats for that.
Get him.
Yeah, I gotta get them. Gotta go to
Go on eBay, dude.
Oh yeah,
Start
start
cheap.
juicing.
Yeah.
I call them juicing for the experiment. I need the lats.
Just for the flicks.
You flare out like this.
Just for Instagram.
Yeah. All right. Anything other than Peyton Talbot?
Dan Ige. So this guy was not on the card.
What?
Dan Ige. Ige. I mean,
I didn't hear the first time.
Yeah. So he would have been great on the card last month, but he actually decided I'm anti, so I'm gonna go fight in July.
Oh, interesting.
But Dan Ige, he was not on the card 3 hours before the event started.
Yeah.
And Brian Ortega is sick. He's like, I'll fight this guy.
Yeah, he lost, but that's
He
sick.
lost, but he put
That's
up a great performance.
Did you see Rogan's reaction to that?
No.
They it was him and DC Daniel Cormier, and then I never remember the other guy's name.
John
He's
Anik.
awesome.
John
yeah.
Anik's the man.
Yeah, I think Anik got the call, and he was kind of speaking out loud what he was hearing to Joe and Daniel Cormier, and Joe was like, I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna reenact this, but he was like showing the most confused. I mean, everyone knows the confused Joe Rogan look. Essentially, like when Theo Von goes on and says anything, that's what Joe looked like. And then they were like, "But it's still on." Because he got a fever. He had like a 103 fever, so they were reporting that. And he like, "But the fight's still on." And Joe was like, "Huh?
What are you talking about?"
And then they were like, "Yeah, Dan Ige's gonna fight."
Save the day.
Yeah, that is legendary. I hope he got paid well. I'm sure he did.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, Dana takes care of those guys.
Definitely, for sure. But yeah, that was awesome to see this weekend. That's really all that I had on the UFC card. But it was a great card. UFC 303. They never disappoint. So
you know, when's is it ever? This is gonna be stupid and elementary of me, but when's UFC 304?
I do not know, and I do not know who's fighting on that card. At this given
I was gonna say because it's not every Saturday.
No. It might be a fight night next week or something like that, but a pay-per-view is maybe like once or twice a month.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's July 27th.
And who's on that card?
Let's see. Main event is Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad.
Well,
I'm interested in Leon Edwards. Bilal Muhammad, he doesn't really do it.
I wasn't a fan of Leon at first, but I've learned more about him. He seems like a good guy. I like his coaching staff,
you know where he's
too.
from, too?
No.
Birmingham.
Really?
Yeah.
Peaky fucking blinders, mate.
Birmingham.
Yeah, no, he's Tommy Shelby in it.
Yeah.
Wow, Birmingham. Oh, you know who else from Birmingham? You do.
Who's-
Jack Grealish.
I was going to say Jude Bellingham.
Grealish.
Grealish from Birmingham?
I think so. There's a YouTuber I watch. His name's Wayback. He's awesome. He's like the Will Ferrell of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And every time he's a FIFA guy. Every time he packs Grealish, he goes, "Oh, Southgate left me off the team. I'm back home in Birmingham." But like apparently his style and like he's not actually bougie. He's like ghetto bougie. Like he'll make money and then he has to go buy Gucci or something. I don't know how to.
Talking about Jack
explain it.
Grealish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's obviously not.
He's like a posh footballer.
Yeah, he's like a multi-millionaire, so he can spend whatever he wants. But like he grew up in the place where like, I don't know, you wear the Nike jumpsuits with the hood
Tech
up and
fits,
stuff.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's like Birmingham. That's like modern Birmingham.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll get into the Euros later.
For sure.
All right. Well, that's if that's all you had for UFC. Jessica chimed in with her couple of bits. I think we can move on to NBA free agency.
Hell
Avery,
yeah.
what do we think about what has gone down so far?
So we talking home team hoops right now?
If you wanted to, I
would
was
love to
about
kick it
talk
off with
about-
home team hoops.
Okay, talk about home team hoops.
So for the audience members that are just listeners only, I am wearing this Sixers shirt because I'm that fired up. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it is absolutely fire. Designed by my guy Ark out there. Go get them. I think they're still up on the shop now.
Yeah, NLD by the way.
NLD.
Just saying,
sorry.
it's a
It's a team. Yeah, it's a team.
His
Team
brother makes them. Alex
Andrew
is
Cement, yeah.
a bit more involved, but I'm invested.
Yes, I got the Phillies hat on, so I'm all Philly gear. But I would just like to say on this podcast that Paul Jesus is home. Paul Jesus is here, man.
Paul Jesus.
Paul Jesus is here. Dude, we were talking about this on the other podcast. I think it was podcast 2. We were talking about like OP teams that we used to use. In that 2013-2012 era, the Pacers with Paul Jesus, Danny Granger, that's been my guy ever since then. So to see Paul Jesus in the red, white, and blue of the Philadelphia 76ers opening game, I'm just so excited about it.
Yeah. Me too. I am. I'm trying to keep my head on straight here, but for a while we've said, oh, we need a 3-and-D guy, and I mean before Maxey, not before Embiid, but like throughout the process. And we thought Timothy Cabarrot was that guy. We thought whatever. Plenty of people were that guy. We had some people that were that guy. But now we have legitimately the ultimate 3-and-D guy.
Yeah.
Like you could say it's Clay. I'd rather have Paul.
At this point, yes.
And I mean, honestly, throughout any year, I think I'd rather have Paul George.
Then Klay Thompson?
Yeah.
Klay Thompson's a Hall of Famer. Paul George is not that guy, pal.
You think Klay Thompson is a better player than Paul George?
Yeah.
All right, all right, we'll get back to that.
I'll
That's
run the
fun.
numbers.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think
love
Paul
Klay
George is just so
Thompson.
much more dynamic. But
Yes.
hold on, I want to focus on the hometown.
Hometown.
Yeah.
Back to the hometown.
So, but I did want to bring something up. Long story short, I'm excited because I do think it's not just like a random guy we got like James Harden to the Tyrese Maxey. At first, I was like, it's kind of just like, what's the difference between when we had Harden, except he's 34, being Paul George is 34. And then I was like, well, Maxey is a ball dominant guard. He could probably learn how to play the point a little bit better, but at the end of the day, he is a ball dominant guard. And Paul George finally Paul Jesus. Not only is he talented and great and just like a dynamic scorer and defender that we've been looking for, but he's in theory, the perfect fit for what the Sixers need.
Mm-hmm.
He can play the 2 or the 3. Maxey's going to play the 1 or the 2. I see starting lineups with Eric Gordon. I didn't even know he's still playing. I don't want him to
sign
play.
Eric Gordon.
That's fine.
I don't think he's going to be in the starting lineup.
We can sign him, but he's got to be like an 8-minute, 10-minute guy.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think there's plenty of room. We need to make more signings, just to be clear.
Yeah, we don't have a power forward on the roster at the
No,
moment.
yeah, we definitely need a forward. But Here's the thing with Paul George.
Paul Jesus.
You ready?
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yes.
Because what were our other options?
It's the best option.
We did the best we could do.
And we're going to talk about it later, but the guy that's no longer with us, he fills that role.
Yes, exactly. Yes, so long Tobias. But
he should not be named.
Here's the thing though.
Yes.
Here are the players that have ever been all NBA at the age 34 or later. Now I know that he doesn't have to be the best player on our team.
He's not going to be.
No, Embiid's going to be better. I think he should put up better numbers than Tyrese.
Tyrese was 26 and 6 last season.
I know, but we just, what is it, 3 years, 150? What did we sign him for?
I think 2 years, 200 something.
Huh? No, we didn't.
Yeah.
That's $100 million a year.
4 years, sorry.
So 4 years, 200 something.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's making $50 million a year.
Yeah, but that's just the NBA.
Okay, but we'll talk about other contracts later. But anyway,
4 year max.
That's a lot of money. Obviously, you have to give him 4 so that he signs with you, knowing he's only going to give you a good 2. So he's making a lot of money. 53. Kobe Bryant's last All-NBA selection was at age 34. Michael Jordan's last All-NBA selection was at 34. Now, these guys are like tall and kind of beat Father Time, but they're still great. So I'm going to run through the list of players that have been All-NBA 34 later. Plus. Duncan, Shaq, Hakeem, Robinson, Dikembe, Parrish, and Wilt. So, but that's a little bit weird because they were just like, they're like all 7-footers. No, those are no. I'm not done. I'm not done. But those are like the weird tall guys that they weren't necessarily. I mean, they were great, obviously, but like Duncan made it averaging 14 points a game for the Spurs, and they were just like tall, and you can continue to play, kind of like Tom Brady, I guess, in theory. Although he was great, but so here are the real guys. I mean, those are real, but 2 physical freaks in Karl Malone and LeBron James. They both did it.
I can't say his name on the podcast.
And then Chris Paul, Steve Nash, John Stockton, and Havlicek. Now, I know that feels like a lot of names. Overall, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like I think it's 11 or 12.
Okay.
And then if you include Michael and Kobe at 34, it's like 14 ever. So when I saw it and the Paul Jesus that I know, I was like, oh, that's awesome. Perfect fit. Electric player. I loved him in Indiana. I hope he doesn't wear 13. I hope he wears 24 because that would be fun. He's 34, man. I don't know what he's going to produce. What do you think about that? There's only been 14 players, and they're like the 14 best players of all time. Yeah. So what's he really going to do for us?
I think he's going to be a very good fit for us defensively as well as offensively. So players are playing longer nowadays, and they're playing better for longer nowadays. I think medicine will take him, give him maybe like 2 or 3 years of superstar, maybe all-star level of play. So I'm not really that worried about the age. Like you said, it is a lot of money. I still think he's going to perform up to this contract. He can't perform any worse than Tobias Harris putting up 2 points in a game 7. So
yeah, he takes spots away from other people we could have signed last year.
But who though? Like who would you want instead of a Paul Jesus?
Well, no, but we could have kept like a Batum and Batum was awesome.
But Batum signed for like $11 million to the
year.
Yeah, no, 2 years, like $11 million to the.
Yeah, that's an awesome contract.
Yeah, I know, but why couldn't he sign that with us, like a friendly deal?
Oh, you're saying we still had it. He wanted to go to LA.
I guess so.
Yeah. No, I guess it's a good point. Listen, I like Paul George. I think he's the perfect fit. I was looking into it, and I'm like,
you're off on age.
I didn't realize he was 34.
Yeah, he's been doing it for 15 years.
When I was looking into it, I was like, oh, I feel like he's a little old. Maybe he's between, honestly, 30 and 32.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he gave him 4 years, and he's 32. And I found he's 34.
Yeah.
So the players I named are the best players ever.
Yeah. And he was never at that level.
And so if he's not all NBA, which history tells us he won't be.
But what if we have 2 All-NBA guys and...
That's what I'm asking. Is that enough for you?
Yeah, if we have Joel Embiid, who's an All-NBA player, basically every year if he stays healthy, And then you've got Maxey, who's emerged so well, and this is what, year 3 or 4?
Yeah.
Coming up. 26-6 last year.
So if he's our third best player, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm totally okay with that.
What's a stat line you're happy with? If he
For
gets
Paul
like,
Jesus?
if he's like third team or arguably third team all defense, or if you think he'd be better than that and say no, he's going to be second team. But like, what's a stat
I would
line?
hope second team all defense.
Okay.
But I want probably around 20 a game and maybe like 6 or 7 rebounds. And I'd be happy with
3
that.
assists, 4 assists.
Maybe like he shot his highest field goal percentage last season, so maybe if he continues that this year, and then you have Maxey emerging, you've got Embiid getting you 30 and 12.
Yeah.
And you got Maxey getting you like
20, it'll work.
22,
I'm just thinking like we gave him the money. He thinks he was a superstar. Probably still is going to have games where he is a superstar.
Absolutely.
Is he going to allow Maxey to be the second best player? Like Embiid's the best.
Embiid's the best.
I think even
That's not a
George is
question.
going to show up and be like, "It's your team, yeah, whatever." But like, is he going to be controversial with being like, "Well, I'm the second
Paul Jesus.
shot. I shoot second, and realistically, it should be Maxey."
That's a good question. So team chemistry, I think Nick Nurse figures that out.
Yeah, he's a good coach.
Yeah, he's not let me down. He's been very, very good in Toronto. His first season here was incredible. I know we came up a little short, but we had the injuries coming down the stretch, and we had one player who was playing against us, and Tobias Harris. So
Yeah.
I think he performs a lot better than Tobias Harris. My only worry really with Paul Jesus is injuries. You know, we've got Embiid who's injury prone, and Paul Jesus has had, two really bad leg injuries. I mean, he's gotten back to health and played well, for 4 or 5 years, but he's got bad shoulders. He's got nicks and tears all around. So that's the one thing I worry about coming into the season.
Yeah, that's a good point. I definitely thought about that earlier too. We didn't bring it up yet, but the injuries are. I'm not a big focus on the injuries guy until it gets to a point where it's like, kind of get injured all the time.
Yeah,
and they both kind of do. Like Kawhi, you care about, but like for example, KD, I wouldn't sign KD thinking, oh, he might get hurt, even though he has had 2 or 3 big injuries. But yeah, Embiid and Paul are definitely 2 potential injury-prone guys.
Definitely.
All right, I think we've harped enough on the Sixers. There's plenty of people who aren't going to want to listen to what we have to say about the Sixers.
So long, Tobias Harris.
Yeah, all right, rest in pepperonis, my boy.
Dude, he's made $300 million in his career, though.
Yeah,
incredible. Hats off to his agent. You're an absolute legend.
He got a pretty good contract in Detroit, didn't he?
2 years, 52. Yeah,
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that to score 0 in a game 6.
Like I said, yeah. Hats off to his agent. If you're ever looking for work, I'm hiring.
Yeah, I'm hiring. I do nothing really well.
Yeah.
I'm the best at doing nothing. All right, let's talk a little bit about other NBA news. I'm going to run through some not absurd, some less absurd. We'll have our own opinions on this, but Emmanuel Quickley. Emmanuel Quickley.
Stroke.
5 years for 175. Scotty Barnes, 5 years, 225, up to 270 with incentives. Isaiah Hartenstein. I did not know his first name was Isaiah.
He's a black man.
That's the bright skin?
Yeah, the bright skin brother.
Yeah, he's lighter than light skin, so he's bright skin. 3 years, 87 mil.
Jeez,
shout out to Jalen Brunson getting that guy a contract because he was average. We'll get into that later.
He ran hard, though. He ran through a wall
hustles,
for that team.
but that's because Thibodeau's the coach.
Yeah,
but
Tim's
I went to a
savage.
game, and Embiid, I mean, it is Embiid, so it's not like people can just guard Embiid, but
frying him. Torture
it
chamber.
was bad.
Yeah.
And like watching it in person, it was bad. Anyway, Cade Cunningham, 5 years, 226.
Back.
Jason Tatum, 5'3", 15. Oh my God! Is that
numbers,
the first 60 milli ever? Has to be.
That's the biggest contract in NBA history. So
Yeah.
Jalen Brown had it before him.
But no one's doing 60 mil a year.
Yeah,
I don't think.
yeah.
And then Donovan Mitchell, 3 for 150.
Back to the Cavs as well.
Yeah, there was a lot of people like.
I thought he was going
about it.
Yeah, I thought he was going.
Why? Because of Cleveland or because of the organization or?
They fired their coach as well. I just don't think Cleveland's going to get it done. I mean, the the Eastern Conference. Sorry, the Eastern Conference is kind of open. Boston's great, but then it's kind of open after that. But they have good pieces. They've got him. They've got Garland. but their backcourt's too small. I don't think they can get it done with that
he's
backcourt.
too small?
Yeah.
He's not that short,
He's like 6'4", bro.
I think Garland's too in this league. That's too short.
And Garland's like 6.
I like both
Garland's
of them
nasty,
lot.
but they're just too small. There's not really much you can do about that. But I thought he was going. I thought he was going to go to...
Is he from New York? But he's not.
Yeah, he's from New York. He
Knicks.
can't go to the Knicks. They got too much money tied up. I thought he was going to go maybe Miami or something. I don't know.
He would do well in Miami. Yeah,
But
we'll see.
I thought he was going. But
that Tatum contract though, dude. So in my senior thesis was about NBA exploitation, and because I don't know, in 2018, Otto Porter signed with the Wizards. He signed for $26 million a year, which I know today would be all right. But I was like, wait, what? Dude, Otto Porter was good at Georgetown.
Great.
He was really good.
I saw him play in the tournament.
But he signed a 3 or 4 year deal for $26 million a year. And I was like, Otto Porter Jr.? No, I think it was a 5-year deal because the number was in the hundreds.
Okay. But on average, he was getting 20 million.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, hold on.
We're watching the same guy.
And so I did my senior thesis on the monopoly. So the monopoly, it had to be around economics. It was the monopoly of basketball, which the NBA has done, monopolized it, versus a union within that monopoly. How much power does a union have within a market that is monopolized by a power? And the NBA is a monopoly in a sense that if you want the money for being great at basketball, you have to play in the NBA.
Definitely.
You can go overseas, but you're not going to get close to the amount of money.
No.
So they've monopolized basketball. And however, there's a players' union. So in theory, the players have rights, even though Big Bad Wolf NBA owns all the contracts and whatnot. So I did a study on it, and it turned out that for a while, the high-end players were not exploited. And now exploited, for the listeners and for you, don't take that as harshly negative. It's just
making $40 million.
It's just a technical term for
they're not getting paid
technically earned more. Yeah, they're not getting paid enough. But I did all these things as far as how much a win generates revenue, and how much revenue a team, how much money a win generates, and then how much a player generates or provides for a win. And so I could calculate how much money that player earned in that given year, for example. Long story short, after the 2011 players bargaining agreement, things got pretty even.
Lockout year.
Yeah, and everybody's pretty much they actually, technically speaking, if you look at how much a win makes a team, how much money a win makes a team, and how much a player contributes to that win. Now, listen, I was in college. There are plenty of errors in it as far as I did account for it, but not that well for coaching or for luck or for weird things that a true economist would. But funny enough, the contracts kind of line up. Now, these are crazy. $60 million a year. I'd have to rerun the numbers, but it's weird, dude. The business makes so much money, and the players are such a key part of that they kind of earn their contracts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd rather the money go to them than the owners to take all the money. And I hate the owners that are not even into the sport. They're just there for the money. So I'd rather these guys that are putting on the performances, bringing the people to the games. I'd rather them get the money than some random guy that has a lot of money, so he bought the team.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to view it. I never really looked at it that way because I was they're just playing a game. They don't need to get paid that much. But
they're putting asses
if
in
they
seats.
don't, it's just going to the owner who's not that I'm anti-owner.
No, there's some great owners.
So rich.
Yeah. Dude, you know who I love? The Clippers owner. It's he's so rich, but he's so into the Ballmer.
Yeah.
He's so into the game, and he loves the Clippers so much that I'm juiced up about it.
Yeah, he goes to every game.
Every game, he's building them a new stadium. He's so into it.
He cheers them on crazy.
Yeah. If I had that much money, that's exactly how I would be. I would be just so excited just to be there.
Oh yeah.
But even if I owned the team, I'd be even more juiced up. But yeah, he's great, and he brings good energy to the league. Him and Mark Cuban, my guys, they'd be sitting courtside. So
yeah, I appreciate Mark Cuban's passion.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of big contracts out there. I think we kind of the dust settled a little bit. They're ridiculous. NBA players are getting paid a boatload of money. If you run the numbers, technically speaking, they generate that money, but it's still pretty crazy. They're only going to go up. I can't believe Jason Tatum signed a $350 million contract.
$15 million.
But like Mahomes signed a $450 million, and so did Trout. I think Trout was before.
Mahomes is like a Shohei's contract, though. I think it's like prorated, not prorated, but deferred.
Yeah,
he signed like a team-friendly contract, even though it was in the $400s of millions of dollars.
Yeah. So anyway, crazy times in the NBA. Good for all you basketball guys. Good luck out there.
Put a basketball in your son's hand as soon as he is born.
Yeah, and make him grow. Give him vegetables so that he grows enough.
And milk.
A couple of one weird one. I guess they're not weird, but okay. One of these things is definitely weird. CP3 to the Spurs.
Oh, yeah.
Clay to the Mavs. Celtics are for sale.
Celtics are for sale. Yeah. Which one do you want to jump into first?
I don't care that much about CP3 to the Spurs.
I just like it. I just like Wemby getting an actual point guard.
I mean,
his number is going to be inflated. I mean, I don't know what Chris Paul has left in the tank, but if Chris Paul is anything like the point guard he is, Wemby's numbers, they were ridiculous his rookie year. They're going to go up because CP3's a true point guard.
That's true, but CP3's on his way out.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how much he has left.
I wouldn't. I'm more excited about CP3 just playing with Popovich than what he does to Wemby's career. I mean, I can't imagine he plays there for 2 full strong years.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I don't know how much he's got left in the tank. And that's one of my favorite players of all time.
Yeah.
The point guard.
7th team? Something like that? 7th or 8th team now?
CP?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's getting up there.
He's getting like the ring. I saw the Shaq memes.
He's going to be ringless though, which sucks.
Yeah, he probably Spurs are not going to win.
No, they're not. But they're going to be fun to watch though. They were fun to watch this year, but with the point guard, CP is going to have them boys whipped up in shape.
Yeah, I mean Wemby's cool.
Wemby's really cool. And he's French, man.
Yeah, he's good, and the French are starting to take over. I'm kind of
want
to watch them play in the Olympics.
Back-to-back first overall picks for the French guys.
Yeah, and the number 2 and the number 6, and then another first-round pick. I was thinking, are all those rookies on the Olympic team?
I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
That'll be fun to watch whenever USA eventually. They're going to go head-to-head at some point. I feel like so the USA versus France is going to be a good one.
So then Thompson to the Mavs. I at first was like, really another guard? But then Thompson's 6'6", 6'7". I'm fine. I think he can play the 3. I think he can defend I was going to say the guys that Luka and Kyrie can't, but he can't really either if we're saying it's Tatum and Brown, but he can do it better than they can.
Definitely. He's a bigger body.
And I think you can put all 3 of them on the court at the same time. I think Luka and Kyrie do whatever they do to kind of figure out who's the 1 and who's the 2, and they did it well this year. And then you throw Clay at the 3 when they're all on the court, and at the 2 when they're not. Yeah. And then they have that rookie big who's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a perfect fit, but I think it's a fine signing. Clay's been not great recently, but I think it was just a mental thing.
The crazy thing is like he made. Either he shot his best 3-point percentage last year, or he made the most threes in his career, like in his season last year.
No way!
I swear,
it has to be the percentage. He didn't play enough to make the most.
But yeah, like it was some crazy stat like that.
Yeah, maybe he still got it.
But I wanted Clay to be a Warrior for life. We were talking about dynasties a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but this is part of the dynasty. This is what I'm saying. Clay has to leave. Steph stays. Draymond stays. They both retire. Kuminga and whoever else they end up signing continues the team, and Kerr coaches them up, and they become great, and then Kerr leaves, and they're great, and new coach comes in, they win. That's a dynasty.
Yeah. So I get it. Them boys, man, 4 championships.
Splash Brothers.
Yeah, so Splash Brothers. I wish they could have came in together and all retired together. That would have been a great story. It's going to be so weird seeing Clay in not a Golden State uniform this year. It's just a weird time.
He'll fit in nice with the Mavs though.
I don't think it's a bad fit. I just didn't want to see it without Steph Curry and Draymond in a Warriors jersey. And I feel like the Warriors kind of let him down a little bit. That's why. He didn't perform at the same level. He's not the same play, obviously, but the Warriors. I mean, they could.
I agree.
They let
him down a bit. I think like he he underperformed and they didn't leave him. There was a shorter leash than it should have been. Yeah.
For a Hall of Famer for your franchise.
Yeah, I think that's
One
fair
of
to
the
say.
best ever players.
When he's allegedly shooting his best 3-point percentage.
Yeah. Jess, can you look that up? Can you see like what was Clay's stats this year?
Yeah.
Because I would love
Just
to
go
know.
to like ESPN or NBA.
If I'm right or I'm just completely bullshit.
So what's up with the Celtics for sale? Is that like
So the owners want to put some of the shares up.
like
the majority
the Green Bay
owners.
Packers do?
What
The Packers are like publicly owned. You can just buy a portion of the Packers.
No, so they're majority owned by somebody. I don't know. Maybe it's a sports group or whatnot. But they're putting up some shares for sale. I saw a great tweet. Let me pull up this tweet. It was
Hopefully our
awesome tweet.
Patreon and subscribers start to donate. Maybe we'll buy a share of the Celtics.
But listen to this. Listen to this tweet though. He says, starting a GoFundMe to buy the Celtics and disband the team. This is how we unite America.
That's awesome.
John Gonzalez out there. Would it be?
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Jessica. Did you have those numbers?
Yeah, for the 2023-24 season stats for Klay Thompson, we have 17.9 points. He's 52nd in the league.
bad.
Rebounds, 3.3.
That's not great.
Can we do a shooting percentage?
Yeah.
Assists, 2.3.
We don't want to see Klay pass the
Field goal
ball.
percentage,
Yeah, field goal percentage.
43.2.
And
not
3-point. That is
Um,
not good.
Let's see, 3-point. Gotta go all the way down here.
Hey, you might not be a rapper. You might be a capper.
All right, 3-point percentage, 38.7.
No, that's
That
not
can't
it.
be his
No.
best. I cannot hold
His
this.
best
I'm gonna-
actually
I got-
was, I can probably see it here. I'm
Well, even
thinking
Jessica run through Klay Thompson.
2017-18 season.
I'm gonna head out.
44.
44% was
Yeah.
his best. God damn. Ave was off by just a little bit, okay? Not that far off. Guys, let's not talk about it. It's going to be edited out the
What does
episode
it even
anyway.
mean?
What?
I'm just like on ESPN on the stats, and there's like 3 sections. Oh, this is regular season totals. That was regular season averages. I was giving you the average. That's what you want?
Say that again,
That's what you
sorry.
wanted. No, it doesn't matter. Klay Thompson, I just watched a video on him.
He's got great form.
Oh, you don't have to tell me. I'm like a stand for 2014 NBA 2K.
Mm-hmm. 2014 NBA 2K14.
Correct.
2K14, who was on the cover? LeBron James. LeBron James.
Yeah, but I would play with the Warriors, and it was the Splash Brothers.
Yep. Oh, that's like the Splash Brothers when they were coming up, though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I can respect that pick, actually, because they weren't that... They didn't win a championship yet at that point.
Or I would play with the Clippers with Blake Griffin and Chris Paul.
And Jamal Crawford.
Yes.
Don't forget about Jamal Crawford.
Jamal Crawford.
Absolute legend.
And look, there's other.
Like Bibby.
No.
Like baby.
No.
What about those Kings teams, bro?
Peter Stojakovic.
Doug Christie's.
Yeah.
Like baby.
Chris
Vlade
Webber.
Divac.
Yeah, those Kings teams were amazing. Dude,
I did run the numbers, by the way. It's like a long time ago.
I found what I was looking for, though.
Yeah, I don't even know where I put it,
Remember
honestly.
Hedo Turkoglu?
Hedo Turkoglu.
Every time I think of
Turk.
Peter Stojakovic, Hedo Turkoglu comes in like 46 seconds later.
Those Europeans, man. All right, Klay Thompson, 22-23, had 301 threes. That was his most in a career. So it's the season before.
Yeah.
But last season he had 268, which was his third best.
Yeah.
So he still has it.
Yeah.
He still has
That's
it.
really good. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure that's historically
Great,
top
yeah.
15. Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. They shoot up so many threes nowadays. Harden's got like a bunch of records when he was in Houston.
Yeah, but yeah,
He just shot more threes.
Klay has to be up there with like most threes in a season ever taken, and then so his third best ever has to be top 20. No,
Yeah.
Well, I'm not looking it up. So
I'm not gonna.
one of the listeners let us know if we're wrong about that. But that's kind of a guess. Anything you want to wrap up with on the NBA before we hop into the Euros?
We didn't talk about the Mikal Bridges trade to the Knicks. I know we don't like the Knicks, but I think it's a great trade. The Nova boys are back together. I don't know how you feel about Nova anymore, but
Yeah. So I'll say this: Mikal Bridges, great
Dog.
guy,
Oh, okay.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Dapped me up all the time at school.
Huge.
For no reason. Maybe thought I was someone I wasn't, which is what I thought it was.
Perhaps Dante.
Yeah, maybe thought I was Dante.
You're evil Dante.
Dude, I'm telling you, it happened it maybe happened double digit amount of times. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I don't think I had a class with him. I had a class with a couple of the basketball guys. But, yeah, I don't know why he was dapping me up. Like, we never really had a relationship besides that, and I'm obviously not going to leave him hanging.
That is
But
hilarious.
super nice dude. And so is Jalen. I'm not going to chirp anybody yet. I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah, fair.
But Jalen and Mikal Bridges,
Great dudes.
I'll say this. The Villanova Knicks, they're exactly who you think they are.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like, who you see them on TV, it's exactly who they are in person.
Gotcha. They look
so,
like they're having
yeah,
fun, too, and they look like they love each other.
Oh,
so.
yeah. I mean, overall, great guys. But as far as, characteristics, who they are on the court is pretty much who they are off the court. I don't know them that well, but I know them
from what you've seen.
Yeah. So, but as far as him playing for Thibodeau, that's going to be funny.
Run that man
Do you
to
know
the
about
ground.
that, Jessica?
What?
So, Mikal Bridges has
He's an Iron Man.
has he never missed a game?
I don't know, but he had a crazy streak when he came into the NBA.
He definitely played every game last year. And maybe before, the year before. Long story short, he's missed maybe 3 games his whole career. But Tom Thibodeau, who is the coach for the Knicks, notoriously runs his players into the ground and works them very, very hard and is happy to play a player for 44 out of the 48 minutes.
Yes. I've seen him happen on multiple occasions.
And that's why the Villanova guys do so well with him, because Jay Wright ran his program the same way. And he had to be very committed to the whole team's philosophy and goal. But Mikal Bridges he's inclined to never come out. But he plays every game and he plays all these minutes because he plays for reasonable coaches.
Yeah.
So now he's going to play with an unreasonable coach, and people are kind of laughing about how far can they really take it with his energy?
Over under on minutes per game for Mikal Bridges.
He's going to start.
Yeah.
I think he should at least.
Yep. Yeah, he has to start.
I
just traded him and paid all his money for him.
Oh my God! Yeah, I actually
traded him so many first round.
I forgot to bring that up.
Yeah,
I know he's home sweet home, but dude, they gave up a lot of picks for him.
Yeah.
I bet he plays 43.5 minutes a game.
Wow, I was going 39.5.
I bet. All right, I'll move it down to 43.
You just said 43.
I said 43.5.
Okay, 43. Okay.
All right, 42.5.
Yeah. Okay.
42.5.
Okay.
What do you got, Jessica?
38.
All right, well balling us.
Yeah.
Did you know Wilt had a season where he averaged 48.5 minutes per game because he played
sit
all
out
of the
in
minutes
OT.
and there were a couple of OT games?
That's ridiculous. Did he play 82 in that season? Do you know?
I don't know if there were 82 games in that season.
One thing I also want to clarify as well: the Klay Thompson, it was a sign-in trade with the Mavs.
Mm-hmm.
So Josh Green is going to the Hornets in that trade. I don't know about the other specifics of it, but Josh Green from the Mavs is going to the Hornets in that deal.
Warriors are gonna have to pick someone up at some point. They're gonna compete next year.
Yeah, they were saying I think the Frozen was on their radar.
DeRozan?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, I want
somebody
to make a
else.
clarification too. On my earlier 34-year-olds who have been All NBA.
Yeah.
That was written when Durant was turning 34. So we may need to adjust. He may have done it, and I think Steph may have done it.
Yeah, I was going to say Steph definitely has done it in
Yeah,
this past season.
but still, it's few and far between, and hopefully Paul George is good, but there's a chance that he's not All-NBA. For me, the expectation, if I'm giving you $50+ million a year,
the numbers are inflated,
you're at least
though.
a third-team All-NBA player.
Yeah, but then you're going to have 3 players on All-NBA.
Well, we don't have depth, so we better. That's what happened with the Celtics. It's what happened with Miami. It's what happened with Phoenix. It's what happens with if you build a big 3, you don't have depth. And so that big 3 needs to be great. Mm-hmm. Paul George, if he's not All-NBA, he needs to be, we need
Basically
to
on the
finish the
cusp of
season
that.
and be like, oh, he should have been third team All-NBA.
There needs to be an argument for
If
him
he-
to be an All-NBA team.
Yeah, he needs to be 20, like you said, he needs to be 26-5 and
He has it for assist as well.
27-3 and he needs to be an All-NBA defender.
Yeah, I think so. I can get on board.
Or there's nothing else we could have done. We could have drafted Bronny and brought LeBron over here. That's what I would have done. But I mean, I don't think there was a better decision to make. But I'm just saying that's what it's going to take for me to be like, all right, he did what he should have done.
Yep.
All right. Euros.
Let's do it.
Euro. I made it out of clay.
He didn't make anything out of clay.
I would never make anything out of
I
clay.
don't like clay.
Anyway, the boys were hot. Damn, crisp treat.
Yeah, you saw it.
You saw that? You heard that? We were 7 out of 8.
7 out of 8
in the knockout round. We were only 7 out of 8 because I blew it. Because I
hit the group chat.
I drafted our Instagram post like 45 minutes early. No, 90 minutes early.
Yeah.
Because I was like, hey, if Austria win, we can use this one. If they lose, we can use this one. And Abe called me out and he said it's a loser's mentality. And he was right because Austria ended up losing, which was the last game of this round of 16. And it was the only game that we got wrong.
Yeah.
Dude, hold on. I don't have it up.
Pull up the stats from that match.
Yeah, I can filibuster until we get there.
We can start with that one, honestly.
We'll start with the last one first because it's the only one we got wrong.
I love when movies do that.
And there's not a crazy amount to say about it, but Turkey beat Austria 2-1. Mm-hmm. And the highlights justify what I'm about to read. But shot attempts. No, I'll start with possession. Possession was 60.2 to 39.4 for Austria. Now, if we're thinking about Barcelona or Spain or maybe Brazil, that might be normalized. But we are pampered by knowing those numbers. 60% is a lot of the possession. 21 shot attempts versus 6.
How many on goal?
I don't want to bring up Angola. It's going to make my argument worse. No, Angola was only 5-3.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch this in full. I was at work, unfortunately.
Luke, hear me out though. What about XG?
Expected goals. They don't have this.
I know. We got to pull up the XG.
Maybe they do. Hold on. Let me hit full. Nah, we got to run it through FIFA. Do the same exact statistics in FIFA, and they'll have XG for us.
They actually have XG. I'm looking it up right now. XG.
Yeah, let me know the XG. But anyway, so Austria.
Okay.
Dude,
keep talking. Keep saying.
Austria was the only game we got wrong. We got it wrong. So we got it wrong 2-1. Mm-hmm. So the only game that we were wrong about was a 2-1 loss where the team that lost had 5x the amount of shots. 3x. 4 or 5x. 5x the amount of shots. So I don't know. I feel like we did a decent job. We'll dive into some of our opinions on the games that we got right, but I did just want to open with, hey, 7 out of 8, pretty decent.
Pretty decent. I don't know if I'm reading this right, but it's saying that the XG for Turkey is 0.54, while the Austrians is at 0.39. I don't know how that works out with the shots discrepancy, but that's what I'm getting from my Google search, a.k.a. just looking at the front page of Google.
Let's just not overthink that one and move on.
Okay. Here's a better New York Times, very reputable.
Yeah,
not really.
That's where I get all of my news.
So Austria has a 3.08 XG, and then Turkey's got a 0.92. So New York Times, the most reputable.
If you're not getting your news from the New York Times,
why are you even reading?
You're reading fake news.
Exactly.
For sure. So we were essentially 8 for 8.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll wrap that up as a W for us.
All right, I'll try to not power through this, but there's a lot to talk about.
There really is.
Feel free to interrupt. I'm going to try to stick to the main things.
I'll go
through these 2 games really quick.
The Friday games and Saturday games.
Ones.
Okay, yeah.
So the Saturday games, we had Switzerland beating Italy 2-0. Abe, I told you, and I had Switzerland over England. We went with England. That's fine. Hopefully, England beats Switzerland, and we continue our streak.
It's coming home.
We continue our streak of greatness. However, dude, I mean, Italy, let's be honest, underperformed. For my boy Giuseppe Gabagool and Maxi Mozzarella. Bafangul! Those Italians, what are we doing? You do not need to be losing in the knockout stage, round of 16. Be more honorable. Show me the Italians that you are. Gabagool. That being said, Switzerland in the Euros, they play well, man. They're really good. 2-0. Pretty, I don't want to say dominant, but almost dominant win. Like, as what I mean by that is, I didn't think Italy really sniffed a win at any point in that game. They weren't necessarily toying around with them in dominance, but they were the winners from beginning to end.
I just want to say something about that game. Italy just looked so like leggy, like they just had no legs. Like they tried to bring on subs and like nobody had gas that game. I don't know.
Some people are saying that the players, like tournament wide, it's been a very low scoring. Some would say boring. I'm having a good time.
I'm having a great time.
Tournament because they're playing so much elsewhere. Like they're not only doing the
travels,
their only league, they're like their regular domestic leagues, but Champions League, and then they're just coming up with more random games to play, and then friendlies for countries.
Right.
People are saying they're tired. I haven't necessarily seen that, but when you consider that the finishing is down, that kind of is a good telltale sign. Kind of like in the NBA, like they can give high effort and dribble and run around, but like when they start to shoot and they're short or they're deep, that's when you start going like, oh, maybe their legs are tired or something along those lines. So maybe there's something to that, but I thought Italy underperformed and Switzerland overperformed, to keep it short.
Yeah, Italy, they just didn't have it. You know, some games you just don't have it. They woke up on the wrong side of the bed maybe, but they just, none of the players, the coach tried to make changes. It just didn't work out for them in that match.
No, and then Germany, I mean, there was a Denmark disallowed goal, but I think everyone's happy to see Germany win as far as like they're I don't think they're necessarily favorites, but they're one of the favorites.
I know it's the favorites.
And Kai Havertz, Jamal Musiala. Sorry to say, we keep nailing it. These are the players we bring up that we want to watch. They're the stars that we're ready for, and they keep executing. This German team, man, I have them as my winners. It wasn't the prettiest game. I know it was 2-0. It seems clean, but Denmark put up a good fight. But they're a good team, so I guess that's fair enough. But am I happy? Yeah, because I said they were going to win, and I like being right. So happy to see Germany win. Yeah. They look good. They look poised. I think they have a very good dynamic of youth with veteran leadership and like poise with swagger. So Germany wins 2-0, and they advance. So those were the first two games Ave and I nailed. Switzerland over Italy, Germany over Denmark. You want to walk us through these English and Spanish games?
Let's start with Spain.
All right.
Let's start with Spain.
It's not coming home.
The team of the tournament so far, they are running through the competition. Georgia put up a really good fight. I mean, they scored the first goal in this one, but then the blitz happened. The blitz just happened.
The Blitzkrieg, Bob. You might not know that song.
I've heard of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. But yeah, Spain. They're just incredible. I mean, this ripped off 4 goals unanswered after conceding early. There's not really much more to be said. Nico Williams looks great.
Those wingers look fun.
Yeah, Lamine Yamal looks great. I'm hearing Nico Williams, a sneaky transfer to Barca maybe coming along soon. So
these tournaments make the craziest transfers happen.
Yeah.
I always remember the Italian center back is linked to Madrid now.
And he didn't play in that game. That last
why
game.
Not?
I don't know. I don't know if it was injuries or yellow cards, but he didn't play. The dude with the headband, right?
Yeah.
He looks like a throwback from like the 2000s.
Yeah. Nesta. He looks like Nesta.
Yeah. He didn't play in that game. But yeah, Spain looks like the team of the tournament right now. They're running through the competition. Who do they play next in the next round?
Germany.
That'll be a good one.
That's it for them. Dude, I agree with you. I don't have much to add. I kind of did add it as I was chiming in throughout your monologue. But yeah, Spain has been the best team this tournament. I still have,
scoring goals too. I did not expect that many goals from the Spanish team.
But we did. That's the thing. Go back to episode 1. We said that it was the Davids. I don't want to make it about me.
Yeah, it was about you. Yeah.
Okay,
now, toot your own horn a little bit.
Fine, I'll toot my own horn.
Yeah.
I said that they have Inaki and Nico Williams, and they have Yamal, and they have Morata, who should be experienced as striker at this point. They have why am I blanking on his name?
Fernando Torres.
Yes. No. But he is a
Ferran Torres.
Ferran Torres. Yeah. Danny Olmo's fun.
Danny Olmo is
mid
actually
too,
good,
and
yeah.
Rodri scored.
That guy's not even Spanish, bro. This dude is definitely from
What?
like Sweden. Danny Olmo.
Well, he plays in Germany, so maybe you're
Yeah,
right.
he's definitely like not a Spanish guy at all. They flipped him a passport.
But yeah,
and
we said there would be
"Get in,
more
mate."
offense. I said there would be more offense, and I was excited to see them. I still had to go with Germany because I think Spain's going to dominate for years to come. But I can't get over Germany's combination of youth and poise and like veteranship.
Yeah.
I just think they're ready to win right now. But
And
yeah,
maybe
Spain's been the best team so far.
by far. Maybe Germany might have the best manager besides Deschamps, but Nagelsmann's. Yeah. No, you don't got Deschamps as the best manager, or you're saying it's not close.
No, I'm saying Deschamps is
By far, like,
maybe
leaps
in
and
the
bounds.
past, but no, he France. We'll get to France. We'll get to France. We'll get to France.
But I like Nagelsmann. I don't think he should have been out in the Bayern job, but I think he's a really, really good coach.
Time for England, my brother, and you better be honest because I'm coming for you.
My heart was beating at 200 plus BPM for this one. They just didn't have it for 90 minutes, and they conceded a goal to the Slovakians. I mean, they fought their asses off the whole game, but they're saved by the kid, man. The 20-year-old.
Jude.
The 20-year-old just said,
"Don't be afraid."
Did you hear what he said? He said, "Who else?" After he scored.
Yeah.
So fire.
Yeah.
He's got a bike, scissors, I don't know what you want to call it, off of a throw-in.
It kind of was in between the bike and the scissor. Yeah.
95th minute, tired to send it to extra time. This is going to be whack, but I called him Jude Bikingham.
That's a little bit cringy, but it's all right.
Okay. We can edit that out.
Yeah, we'll edit that out. Don't worry.
Keeping it. But then, who else do we have in the 91st minute of extra time?
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Oh man,
You're a wizard, Harry.
He's got the. I think that's his first goal of the tournament now.
Yes.
First goal of the tournament in the round of 16, and he sends England on to the round of 8 or the quarterfinals, if you want to call them that.
Yeah, so they scored right away in extra time and kind of just let
Held
the
it
time
from
run
there,
out, and they won 2-1 against Slovakia. Which,
Slovaks.
if you didn't follow that story that Abe just told, Slovakia was up 1-0 for a lot of the game. England scored with literally 30 seconds left on a bicycle kick from
95th minute.
from their wonder kid Jude Bellingham,
Who else?
and
Who else though?
then Harry Kane scored in extra time, and they won 2-1. Dude, if they need to figure it out.
Can I ask you a question though?
Who else?
Who else?
Shaqiri next round.
Oh,
no,
boy.
you're right. No, it had to be Bellingham. He's their best player. They have an amazing staff of young talent, but he's incredible.
Yeah.
He's really, really, really good. I want them to play a real game, though. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
I said Switzerland's going to beat England in round 2. England barely squeaked by. There's a chance that they figure it out, and this is a big wake up call. But I am so unimpressed with this England team. I cannot express it enough. And to be clear, I blame the coach. I think he's a joke. He's you need to choose a system that works for the most amount of players, and he's just he chose a system that he likes, and he's trying to morph them all into that. But
you don't have enough time to
you
do
have
that.
City players who are coached by Pep. You have a lot of Arsenal players who are coached by Pep with hair.
Pep disciple, yeah.
Arteta. And so just try to do something
Have some
there
fun.
and then teach the other guys kind of how to play with that
Around
style.
that, yeah.
But to change everybody's play style to fit your view of English football clearly doesn't work. I think they look horrible.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion. They don't have a lot of chances created. They have so much talent. I'm almost ready to call it embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel about England. I know you say it's coming home.
It's going home.
It's not coming home.
Yeah,
They're still alive.
They're still in it.
But they have a lot of figuring out to do.
Yeah,
I would agree there.
Yes, they have not played the best game of. They've not played a complete game of soccer yet, so they have a lot to work on. But they're still in the next stage or in the quarterfinals. So let's see what happens. 2 things I want to go before we move on to the next game.
Yeah,
Kobe Mainoo. He's been a change of pace in that midfield.
I agree.
This guy's incredible I think he's like a 19-year-old as well.
Kobe's good, dude.
And he just steps in and he just bosses the game.
Just even the dribbling, like not even if he's not even producing goals, you just like eye test.
His movement is crazy.
Yeah, just eye test on that kid. He's
and just his knowledge of the game.
Very, very good. Makes the right pass, makes the right decision when to dribble, and like not only is he making the right decision to try to dribble somebody, he's beating them when he does it. He's so very good. I like him a lot
for a young player. Yeah, I can't wait to see him in Man U again in the fall. But
there's a Man U signing, wasn't there? A Delict. Sure. Delict is linked to Man U.
I like that. that. We're getting Rafa's going.
You can use a center back.
And then another thing, get off the back of Bukayo Saka. All the English punditries are they're hammering Bukayo Saka.
For being bad?
Yeah, they're saying he's not performing well. Like, take him out the team.
Dude, none of them are.
Yeah, exactly. And he had probably the best game out of anybody that first game where he was electric.
That's true.
But I mean, he took a sacrifice as well for this game. Like, he actually dropped into left wing back to get some more offensive players on the field at the end of the game. So Bukayo Saka is fantastic, and he's a star boy, and he's just like a great human being. Please don't ruin this man's love of football by talking down on him and just making no sense. Nonsense.
I mean, leave it to the English to do that. I love that dude. So
he's the man.
You know where I stand on that. Arsenal.
Dude, we got to pull up that one clip of Arsenal fans saying, would you rather trade Bukayo Saka to win the Champions League right now?
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, we're keeping Bukayo Saka. That's our star boy. Yeah, that's our star boy.
Yeah. Jessica, there was this thing that went viral maybe a year ago. And this guy was going around to Arsenal fans asking if they would trade Bukayo Saka for a Champions League win this year. And I think all of them said no.
Yeah.
Which was they were like, no, he's our star boy. We love him. And he's going to win us a Champions League. And we love Bukayo Saka. Mm-hmm. And now these English fans are chirping him because he had one bad game.
And the whole team was bad. It wasn't just him.
Yeah, the whole team's been bad the whole tournament.
Yeah.
It sounds like Philadelphia.
Yeah, a lot like it.
It kind of does. But yeah, no, I hope Bukayo plays, and he will for long, and hopefully he has a great career.
I did compare the England fans to the Knicks. I like that comparison because they haven't won since the 60s.
And they fill the streets very quickly.
And they're so loud.
Games.
They're so loud.
When they win, especially.
Yeah.
All right, let me dive into this France-Belgium game. I think people are done hearing about England and their mediocrity. It's not coming home, Ave.
It's coming home, mate.
Dinklage. That means it's coming to Germany.
Ugh.
That's not true. That's just where Jesse's from in Germany.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, France-Belgium 1-0. Here's the thing.
2-3 in the world, though.
Here's the thing. 2-3 in the world. Belgium stunk all
They
tournament.
looked a lot better in that game.
They had Kevin De Bruyne playing CDM.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Which is such a waste of talent. I know that it was 1-0. I know that France is in the final 8, and I think they have 3 goals. They have 2 own goals and a penalty.
And a scruffy shot from Kolomuani.
That was an own goal. No, that
counts as an OG?
Oh, yeah, boy. That's one of the 2 own goals.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, dude, it's bad.
Yeah.
That being said, they looked way better than Belgium, and I'm not worried about them playing Portugal next game. Portugal was horrendous. There's this guy, what is his name? Cohen
Trau.
I think he's number 20.
26 or
that's
something.
Fabio Cohen Trau, but his name's
Conceição.
That dude is
quick,
so good.
Yeah,
he's their best player. In this tournament so far, he's been their best player.
Okay.
Ronaldo,
yeah.
I just want to preface, I'm a Messi guy.
Yes, me too.
Through and through. That being said, I'm Ronaldo over Maradona and Pele.
Yeah, he's the second best.
Yeah, Ronaldo's number 2.
Yeah.
Embarrassing performance against Slovenia. Mm-hmm. Not only, this is for you, Alex, not only crying after missing the penalty before the game was over. Yeah. First of all, pick your head up. Your country needs you. You're the best player they've ever had by far. I know
shout out to Figo and
Figo. Yeah, I know, but he's the second best player ever. Which means he's undoubtedly, I guess. Okay.
I mean, he's in a different world compared to these players.
By far,
and these guys are
is maybe
legends.
Not the right terminology, but undoubtedly, dude, pick your head up and go win that game.
Yeah,
but they end up winning on penalties thanks to their goalie saving the first 3 against Slovenia. They didn't look like the worst penalties, but they weren't great. Now, that Portugal team, there's a 0% chance France loses to them. That's how strongly I feel about it. There are people saying like Portugal's going to advance past France and I guess not Spain, right? No one's saying that. That'd be crazy. But I say I because I'm French, just to be clear, but I am not fearful of that Portugal team at all. Like, at all. I like Rafael Leao a lot. I think João Felix is good, even though he's not playing. That
Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno.
Bruno, I'm not fearful of in the slightest. That dude, little rat face, he stinks.
He does not stink.
He does not stink. He's very skilled, but
he's a rat, though.
Tchouaméni and Kanté are going to eat him alive, period. But, yeah. So, anyway, France does not look great. I'm totally open to that. They need to take Thuram off the field. Rabiot got a second yellow. Dude, that ref was horrible.
Yeah.
There were two or three, definitely two, maybe three yellows in like 15 minutes. None of them were yellow cards. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not even being a homer.
Yeah.
They were not yellow cards, period. Not even close. That being said, happy that Rabiot got a second yellow.
Camavinga, bring on Eduardo.
Dude, no. This is what you do. You put Tchouaméni and Kanté behind Griezmann.
Okay.
And then you play Dembele and Mbappe on the wing and just put Mawani or Giroud up front. Okay. I don't know if Giroud can play 90 minutes. That's my only thing. I don't think he can either. But I like put Mbappe on the wing, let him be creative, let him go into the middle as much as he wants. But Tchouaméni was the best player in that game.
Tchouaméni was, yeah. But he didn't shoot the ball well, but his passes were great, and he was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I think you play Tchouaméni as kind of like your six, who's defending and he's distributing a lot. Yeah, and then let Kanté free roam, and then
just chase their best
Griezmann plays in front of both of them.
I didn't like Griezmann out wide, honestly. I didn't think he had enough influence on the game.
Dude, no, he's not fast enough anymore. So we can hop into that last game with the Netherlands because we already talked about Turkey, but France underperforming for sure, need to figure it out. But that Portugal team, I was not impressed at all, like at all. I think France, like we said, advances and takes on
Portugal,
Germany. Germany against Spain. I think Germany goes on, that's so we'll have game. France, Germany, and then we have England over Switzerland and Netherlands over Turkey. So we'll see what happens. I don't know how much you want to dive into that Romania-Netherlands game.
There's not much that went on there. Netherlands kind of blew them out the water.
Yeah. So Jessica, that means that all three of our teams are still alive. I have Germany. You had Netherlands. Avery had England. So if England... So wait, we have England against who?
England against Swiss. Right, in the final? England versus Germany. No.
So if England beats Switzerland and Netherlands beats Turkey, you and Ave have the first matchup of the champions. Yeah.
We'll have to watch it together.
Definitely. What day would that be on?
That would be July 9th or 10th. I think 10th.
Okay.
Wednesday at 3. So unlikely you watch it together. Yeah. I'm going to say you probably will not watch that together.
We can put like a friendly wager or something on it.
But yeah, so anyway, I guess we can wrap up the Euros. Long story short, if you want to take a look at our Instagram, it is Sideline Banters with a Z. We threw up our predictions for the round of 16. 8 matches, 16 teams. We got 7 out of 8 right, and according to expected goals, we got 8 out of 8 right. But
that's all we're going off.
Austria lost 2-1 after shooting 21 times, and somehow Turkey scored 2 goals on like 5 shots. So we got one wrong, but we still have both of our winners in.
Yep.
So we're in it for the long haul. But that's all we have for the Euros this episode. Unless, Ave and Jessica, I'm missing anything, or you wanted to add anything to Euro Talk.
I think I'm good. I think I'm good here.
All right. Next, let's get into the sport of the savants.
Yeah.
Of the men who like to sit back and maybe have a transfusion and a cigar. The PGA Tour Rocket Mortgage Tournament in Detroit.
Hell yeah.
Break that down for us a little bit, Ave.
I got you. Did you watch any of it?
I watched some highlights. I know Akshay, he's actually pretty into the YouTube scene.
Okay.
I'll save a little bit.
He's a younger guy as well, so that
yeah,
makes sense.
He is.
My fault.
Smooth as butter. Lefty.
Yeah, the lefty. The lefty is nice.
I actually didn't realize how good he was because he was a guest on Good and the Bryan Brothers and Busted Jack and just some of the golf content I watch. I know that's going over your head. Hopefully somebody watching this knows who I'm talking about. But he would guest appear, I think mostly with the Bryan Bros because Wesley Bryan, actually now George is also, they both have their PGA card. So they're YouTubers, but one is legitimately pro and the other one just finished Q school and he's like on the Korn Ferry tour but like has his PGA card. So
he's in the video with them.
He features with them occasionally, and I didn't realize how good he was. Because I was like, Wesley Bryan is the best YouTube golfer.
Okay.
Because he's also on the PGA. And he would invite this guy on, and I was like, oh, well, no one's better than Like, no, there's no YouTuber you're going to invite that's better than him.
Yeah.
And he would like compete with him. And I was like, damn, this guy's pretty good. And then I saw him on TV. I saw him on TV, and I'm like, oh, he's like
a pro. Like he wins.
Players in the world and wins. Yeah. So I didn't watch a whole lot of this tournament. If you want to talk about it a bit more, but I know Akshay a little bit.
So I didn't watch the whole tournament, but I did catch the last few holes, which was pretty much all I needed for the weekend. But it was electric, and for golf, you love to see it. I mean, it may not be the most exciting sport to everybody, but this weekend, if you were tuned in, you would have had a great time. So essentially, Akshay, he's still golfing. There's a golfer that shot. He shot
Cam Davis won.
He shot 18 under par.
Okay,
right,
yeah.
so he's finished at this point. Akshay's coming down to the last couple holes. He gets to 18. 18 is a par 5, I believe. So he needs a birdie to win. He needs a par to tie it. So I think the third shot from him, he lands on the green, right?
Par 4?
Par 5.
The
third shot is landing on the green.
So he has a 2-putt to tie.
Yes. He's a 2-putt to tie, or...
Because 4th, and then 5th,
he's 2-putt to tie. But
so his first putt goes to what? 3 feet, 4 feet?
Yeah,
like he was far. He landed on the green, but he must have been like 60 feet away or something.
No, I don't think it was that far. But his first putt does go to within 4 feet of the cup.
Okay.
So this putt is for par because he missed the birdie
to do a playoff hole.
Yes. So he's 4 feet.
Makeable.
Yeah, very makeable.
Very makeable for a pro. Borderline makeable for us.
Yes. Yeah. And he has not 3-putted the whole entire weekend up to this point. So it's going in, right? Obviously.
Since Thursday. Yes. Not just today.
Yes. The whole entire weekend he had not 3-putted. So this putt is going in, right? There's no doubt about it.
I mean, yeah.
This is for par. This is for the playoffs.
Yeah.
This is to tie. Cam Davis misses it. As I said, he had not 3-putted the whole weekend. It was so heartbreaking because he had played so well up to this point. He's 17 under par at this point. And
dude, imagine being 17 under par.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's 4 rounds, but
that's or it's 18 under par. Sorry, so he shoots a bogey here to go 17 under par. Yeah. Wow. But yeah, it was absolutely heartbreaking of a weekend. Those last 3 or 4 holes were like electric going up to that point. And I'm like thinking, all right, we're going to get to the playoff. Cam Davis is already practicing his swings. He's at the range getting ready for the playoff. And like he wins it and he's like, oh my God. Like he missed that putt. Like what's going on? It's like
the opposite of McIlroy last time. Yeah. Where McIlroy sees it goes in and just like walks out.
Yeah.
Davis was like ready for the playoff and then was like, oh, never mind.
I win.
But
another caveat to that, Davis, this is the second time winning this event. He won back in 2021. And then I have 2 more things on Akshay because he already won 1 event this season. With this win, he would have been the 3rd golfer to win 2 events on the tour this season, joining who?
Woods, McIlroy.
No. This season.
Oh, Scheffler
and Rory. So he would have been
in that. Rory had 2.
Yeah, in that caliber for this season. And then Batias, he's only 22, is looking to join an esteemed list of modern era tour pros to win 3 titles before age 23. And that list
includes Woods and McIlroy and Spieth.
McIlroy, Spieth, Tom Kim, and Sergio Garcia.
Yeah. Garcia's been doing YouTube stuff too now.
Really?
Yeah, he joined Live Golf, and now he's like trying to be young and cool.
Nah. I just gave him a Barcelona accent. I don't know if he's from Barcelona, but I know he's Spanish.
Yeah, he definitely is Spanish. All right, cool. Yeah, well, that's a good weekend. Yeah, Akshay Bhatia, he's interesting. Seems like a good guy. Wears glasses and like is sponsored by like relatively cool brands, I think. Like dresses kind of not like Fowler, but seems like a cool dude.
Yeah.
Super smooth left-handed swing.
It is very
obviously
smooth.
Phenomenal golfer. He's competing with the best of the best. I thought he was a YouTube golfer for a while, and
turns out he's a pro.
Turns out he's
one of the
phenomenal.
best. Yeah. Young guy as well. So I'm probably going to keep my eyes on him because, like you said, he's only 22. So it's keeping golf young. So he's fun to watch. Heartbroken for him this weekend, but I'm sure he'll be back.
Yeah, he'll figure it out. All right, next on the docket, I think we should go to F1.
Okay.
I know there's this thing here, but I don't have much more to add.
Yeah, it's just like he did the thing.
Yeah, that's all right. So we're talking about baseball, just to be clear. There's so much more baseball to be played. Don't you worry, baseball fans. We will cover plenty of that. But we're pretty deep into this episode, so we're gonna hop into F1. Dude, how about that ending?
Yeah.
There's a crash right at the end.
So have you seen the crash?
Yeah.
Do you think that? Do you want to explain the crash first, or do you want to?
I think you should explain the crash.
So the crash happened in one of the turns. So we're in Austria this weekend, and essentially it's a right-handed turn, and we have Verstappen and Norris. They're fighting for first place, and like I said, it's a right-handed turn, and
very Verstappen move.
Yeah. I think that Verstappen could have hugged the apex more, but he was more left on the apex for this turn. And basically, he kind of ran Lando Norris off the track, for lack of a better word. And they both had contact with each other and had to pit, causing them to really derail their race. And it was like the 65th lap out of 72. So I think Verstappen finished in 6th, and I don't think Lando Norris finished the race at all.
But you know who did? Jessica's new favorite driver.
Really?
Yeah, dude. There's this video of him that's coming viral on Instagram. I think if it's of him in his travel bus or something with his team. Dude, he's a stud. Jessica showed me the video of him, and he's just pushing his hair back and like asking a question to somebody. He's so handsome. This is George Russell, by the way. And Jessica's like, you know George Russell? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I know he's a driver. Yeah. I know the name, but he's always got a helmet on, so I don't really know what he looks like. And she like shows me, and I'm like, is that him? I don't really. And she's like, yeah. Anyway, George Russell ended up winning because thanks to that crash between Norris and Verstappen at the end of the race. I know you're excited about that. What do you think?
Yeah, what a guy.
What a man.
What a driver.
Great driver. Great driver.
No, I think Verstappen, I just feel like he, in my own head, I feel like he does that on purpose. Like, he's such an aggressive, bratty driver. Mm-hmm. I feel like he was like, no, you can't pass.
It's my turn. I'm winning this Great Prix.
I'm either going to, we're both losing or I'm going to win.
Yeah. So you thought that the fault was on Verstappen in this incident?
I think it was competitive racing. I didn't think anybody did anything crazy, but I think that he could have avoided it.
I think he could have hugged the apex. Yeah, I think he could have hugged the apex and, gave Lando Norris some space.
Yeah. I mean, all in all, I don't necessarily dislike Verstappen, but I'm just saying he's won enough. So I'm never going to be like,
he's won enough for 2 lifetimes,
I wish he could have won this race. Like, that's not really ever going to come out of my mouth. I wish Norris is up and coming, so I'm happy. I'm a little bummed that he didn't get to finish, but I think it's still fun to have Russell, Piastri, and Carlos Sainz on the podium.
Smooth operator.
If Verstappen's got to compete with someone and crash before the end of races just for the podium to be a little bit more,
diverse.
I'm here for it. I don't know where Hamilton is. This was a huge opportunity.
Yeah, right. He didn't make the podium. I think it's P4.
Yeah.
But it was a great race.
Yeah, great race. Again, if you're not into F1, I know it feels like people are racing. It's so hard. Try to do your best to respect it so that you can appreciate what they're doing, I guess. Imagine turning in your neighborhood at 150 miles an hour. It's really hard. So if nothing else, just it's fun. It's fun to watch. Start trying to take a look at that Netflix documentary. Apparently, I haven't even watched it that much because I was already locked before that came out. But apparently, it everybody loves it.
It's great.
So watch that if you haven't. F1, it's really fun. It's really cool, and it's worldwide. It's not just. I mean, I don't want to poo-poo on NASCAR, but it's very like American, Southern, and this is like drivers from across the country are racing for companies that are across the world are racing for
the most prestigious auto companies in the world.
From across the world. Exactly. And it's very good. It's not just turning left. They're very creative tracks.
Mm-hmm. It's very, very difficult to
check it out. The announcers are crazy.
Yeah.
They're awesome. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, cool. So great F1 race this weekend. So we'll segue quickly into what is currently Jessica and my favorite athlete in the world. We're going to the Olympics.
Yeah.
A hurdler sets the world record for 400-meter hurdles and qualifies for the Olympics, of course, in doing so. But Sydney McLaughlin ran it in 50.65 seconds, I believe. If not the first, one of the few times that a woman has ever broken 51 seconds on the 400-meter hurdles. Really incredible, but the best thing about her, for me, is she just walks out of the tunnel after her name is called, gets to her point. She's not looking. She's not waving. She's not, respectfully, is not there for the fans. She's not there for the fame. She's just, like, she finishes, and she says, like, I blacked out, and I saw the number. I couldn't believe it. But she's really, really cool. Like, aside from Jessica, I'm Sydney McLaughlin's #1 fan. And Jade Carey. Jade Carey's a gymnast. I love Jade Carey. Anyway, Ava, did you get a chance to watch her run it? We watched it live.
I watched the highlights.
Yeah.
I just watched the highlights.
Dude, Sydney McLaughlin, she's also...
Yeah. She's nice.
She's nice. That is a good John. Yeah.
Married, though.
Yeah, and that
we cut out the last name, obviously, for the podcast. But yeah, it's just Sydney McLaughlin for the podcast. But
her husband's a big man.
Is he like a track star?
I think he was in NFL.
Oh,
former NFL guy.
NFL player.
Yeah. So hopefully he's not listening to this, but Sydney, if you're listening to this, how we doing? She is.
No, Sydney's just like, she's awesome. She's from New Jersey.
Yep. I think she's from Burlington, too.
Yeah.
Birmingham?
I remember for Rio.
New Brunswick. She's from New Brunswick, sorry. Which is, I think it's still South Jersey.
Well, I thought it was like Atlantic County. I'm sure we can just find out really quickly.
I don't know geography.
She's like close to us, and I remember because the news was going crazy. But like, it's not only like she's breaking records. She's currently 24, so this is not the first time.
Yeah.
Like when, like in 2016, she was the youngest athlete to qualify for the U.S. Olympic track team, and she placed third. So she's just kind of been doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Luke's right. I think I like her a lot because, I don't know, you see like everyone's kind of like chit-chatting. People like have their own things. I forget, who's the male runner who's really good for Team USA? He's pretty like theatrical.
Noah Lyles? No,
maybe?
He's like a hurdler or something.
Like, I think that everyone has their own personality.
Noah Lyles is the runner that I know. I don't know if that's who you're talking about. Yeah.
I feel like it has to be the same person.
Yeah.
I was more locked on the Olympics when I was younger. But Noah Lyles is definitely the current, like, famous male USA runner.
Okay.
But he does not sound like what you're describing. So anyway, but keep going.
No, kind of to what you were saying. She just really like, you can almost see her like speaking to herself before the run. Like she's not like, nothing else matters to her besides, like, even at the end, like, it was funny. She like did the normal, like, you put your like chest forward, and it was like no one's near you.
Did she run like the whole way as well? Like,
yeah. She's fun to watch, but she just is so quiet. But yeah, that I think a lot of people are excited for track and field. I'm excited to see, like, I don't know why, I just forget other things within track and field, like the spear throwing.
Yeah.
Spear throwing.
That's it. That's the one.
That's what they call it.
Pole vault, yeah.
Javelin, like.
No, that's the spear throwing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's not called spear throwing?
No, they changed it like
back in the gladiator times?
Yeah, it's been javelin for a while.
Speaking of gladiator, Gladiator 2
Great
coming
movie.
out.
Gladiator 2, check it out. I wasn't that thrilled until I seen that Denzel Washington.
Denzel looking like a snack.
Whoa.
Dude, you said it, not me.
This is crazy.
Sidney McLaughlin.
I just don't know about Gladiator 2. Gladiator 1, for everyone listening, it's like one of my all-time favorite
As it should
movies.
be.
It's an all-time all-timer.
It's a start finish. There's no reason for a second. I thought.
There's no, They ran out of ideas in Hollywood, which sucks, but it's Denzel Washington.
Yeah,
so
like,
I gotta
should I
do
read?
it.
really gonna get involved
Let me
if
see,
it's
like
not
Gladiator. I'm curious, like, what is the plot? Gladiator 2.
While Jessica looks up Gladiator 2, Abe, you want to walk us through this Quincy Wilson news?
Oh, I just wanted
did not qualify, unfortunately, individually, but there was some good news. What happened?
So he did make the team for the relay. This guy was in the individual event for the 400 meter dash. I can't believe that's a sprint race. 400 meters sounds insane for me right now.
That's way too many meters to be a sprint.
Way too long. But he didn't make it individually. But for the relays, he did get the call up. So he will be going to Paris this summer, and he'll be in the relay. In the final, he ran a 4.494, and he was 0.5 off qualifying individually for an Olympic berth. But he will still be there collectively for the relay.
So there was an actual time that he had to be under, like outside of just like being second or third or fourth?
No, the guy that ran
third place guy was right in front of him.
He qualified at a 4.4, 44.42. I wanted to say on Sidney McLaughlin, she's got a great handle for Twitter. Her name is Go Sid Go, which it just makes so much sense. It's awesome.
Yeah, that is pretty sweet.
Do you want to talk about one thing about baseball, or do you want to go to our others? I mean, that's our Olympic segment. We will jump into more events as they come around. I think the trials are hitting their head, but the Olympics are actually coming up in, what did we say, 26 days or so? 24 days, I think, is the countdown now. Yeah,
24 days.
24 days.
We like Olympics, so we're going to do our best to talk about it. They obviously haven't started yet, but qualifiers are fun just to see who the team's going to look like.
Oh, Simone Biles is going. I did see that.
It was Simone Biles, Jordan Childs, Cindy Lou Who, Suni Lee, Jade Carey.
Wild.
And
Jade Carey.
Who's the 16-year-old
Hexley.
Hispanic? Hexley. Her dad was
fired up.
Hysterical. Yeah, he was like laughing and crying.
Well, what's great is like, so awesome. I was a gymnast, so like when I watch this, like I don't often get people who want to watch sports with me. But like people like watching gymnastics with me because they like watching the people and then they don't really know what's happening. In
Jessica
theory,
just goes back tuck, single, unlock the bar, frozen yogurt. I'm like, what? She's like, it's not that hard. I'm like, okay, whatever.
No, it's very hard. But for her floor routine, she basically like sort of kind of solidified her spot, and she kind of like she did great, obviously, but she like wobbled and whatever. Like when you're doing a floor routine, like you just want it to be perfect, like absolutely perfect. And you're used to parents like knowing, like they're like more invested in these kind of like competitive sports than like the athlete is. It's like literally the story of like the athlete, like, I don't want to do it anymore, mom. And she's like, I don't care.
Their parents are kind of like living through them.
Literally. So you just have this dad, it shows. So she like kind of like almost steps, or she like wobbles, and he's like, that's okay. You didn't step out. And it's like the most like common first thing you learn about gymnastics. Like don't step out. Like it's totally not what was even happening. Mm-hmm. But, like to see it. I'm super excited to watch him. Honestly, all the parents. I love, like, I should do a tally of how many times does Jessica cry during the Olympics.
Well, I'm not going to keep that tally, so you should.
Over under podcast.
It's because of greatness. I love greatness.
You do love greatness. You don't. Yeah, it's
not because
like when
I'm like they're
loses,
so cute.
It's like when they've accomplished the dream that they've
set out
been
their whole
seeking
life.
for.
Yeah.
And like they show the family and they're emotional. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jessica loves that stuff.
I love sports, man.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Exactly.
That's why we banned. Speaking of Team USA, eliminated from the Copa America along with Mexico. Didn't even make it out of the group stage. Generally, Ave, if I'm being honest, I'm not overly invested in Team USA. I do follow. However, I do think Christian Pulisic is a pretty special player.
I believe you're correct.
I believe it's the first time in ever. I could be wrong about this, but if I'm right, it's the first time ever, and I think I'm right, that we could have or did in fact field a starting 11 of Americans that none of which played in the MLS. If we didn't, it was possible with the roster that was available.
I think they did field a team that none of the players played in the MLS.
Yeah, and so for that reason, I was very excited for this Copa America, and for that reason, I'm actually genuinely bummed that they are eliminated already, because I think it's overall better than any Landon Donovan or Clint Dempsey or Alexi Lala's team that's ever existed.
Yeah, the talent is there for sure. The coaching, we might need to revisit that down the line, maybe right now.
Immediately.
But also, the players made selfish mistakes. So in game 2, Tim Weah picks up a red card in like the 19th minute or so against Panama. And we go up in that game when we're down to 10 and we go up 1-0. But then Panama scores 2, and we lose that game. It's a very winnable game that we should have won.
That we had to win.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
I mean, in hindsight, you can say that, but probably...
We needed to win that game because game 3 was against Uruguay. It was 15-time winners of the Copa America, and, they beat us 1-0. And even if we had tied that game, if we scored 1 goal to tie it up, we still didn't advance because Panama beat Bolivia in game 3 as well. So we needed to win that game, and we needed to win it by... we needed to score 2 goals, and we just didn't score any.
Yeah, serious bummer. And again, I root for France because, as far as soccer is concerned, it's always
because
been
they're
France
better
for me. Well, yeah, but like my dad is French and he likes soccer, and my mom is American and doesn't. She likes soccer now, but she didn't in particular. So if soccer was on, it was at my dad's, and we were watching France.
Yeah, in French.
So now. I just never really supported U.S., at least in soccer.
And they were never that great either.
Right.
They had moments, though.
Yeah.
Really high highs.
Josie Altidore.
Yeah.
And like that goal against Nigeria. Yeah. So, anyway, it was still a bummer. For whatever reason, this year was a bummer for me because I was like, dang, like, I say we. I shouldn't say we because I've been anti-U.S. Not, well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For so long. But it was such an opportunity to have a legitimate team with legitimate players from like world clubs
and a legit competition with all the South American teams in this competition.
Yeah,
to go far.
I'm looking live now. Brazil just tied Colombia. Shout out Juan. I'm rooting for Colombia. They finished first in this. I
can't vote. I can't go
play.
for Colombia. You know why? My loyalties will not lie with Colombia
because of the cartel.
No, because of Victory Barbo in FIFA 14 and Cuadrado and all those guys.
Yeah. But anyway, so they tie. So Colombia comes out on top of that group.
Scored?
Daniel Munoz in the 40 and Rafinha for
really?
Little Barcelona.
Rafinha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we haven't covered the Copa America very often. For those who don't know, it's really going to be Brazil or Argentina
in the final. Would be great.
So we'll cover more as it continues, but pool play is kind of mundane. We didn't expect USA to get eliminated, so maybe we could have brought it up earlier. But there's too much, or there's not enough depth, or there's too much depth. I don't know how to say.
There's so much going on right now in the sports world that it's kind of got on the back burner.
Heavy. So in pool play, like there's bad teams that are going to lose, and we'll cover it when we get there. But Colombia comes out on top. Shout out Juan. He wanted me to cover that. So this is me covering Colombia versus
Juan,
Brazil.
I'll say, let's go. Viva Colombia. I'll give you that one. That's all I got for you. That's all my Spanish.
I'll hit him with a little Vamos a la playa. I know he likes that one.
Okay, fair.
So if I'm not mistaken, Ave, we have a cheeky little thing at the bottom here, but I think we can wrap it up. And if you want to throw that into your 2-minute drill, go for it.
Yeah, that's definitely because I don't have much for a 2-minute drill, but I just wanted to give a shout out to a UConn legend.
Well, hold on. Let me announce that we're doing the 2-minute drill.
Okay.
Ave, if you have nothing left, we've covered, I think, 5 or 6 different sports now. And Jessica, if you've got nothing left for the Copa America, which I'm just going to have to assume you don't, we are ready to hop into our 2-minute drill. Jessica, it looks like Ave wants to lead off, so you are off the hook. Ave is jumping the gun. What do we got?
We've got a UConn legend, as I've stated 2 minutes ago, but this is my 2-minute drill, so now my time.
Officially.
I'm on the clock right now. We've got a UConn legend. is hanging up the shoes, man. Kemba Walker, shout out to the guy, the 2011 national champion for the UConn Huskies. What a fantastic run that he had in college. He had a great NBA career, but let's talk more about the college because I'm
step back against Pitt.
Step back against Pitt in I believe it's the semis of the Big East tournament in the Garden. And it was just ridiculous. He stepped back, made a guy fall, hit the jumper, and became a legend that night. Went on to win the NCAA championship that year. And I've been rocking with UConn before that moment, but after then, so much so. And, he's brought me so much joy over the years. So shout out to Kemba Walker, man. I hope you enjoy retirement.
Probably an underrated player.
Yeah, I mean, multi-all-star. He got the bag with the Hornets. It didn't work out with the Celtics, but, I mean, he had a good career. He played.
Imagine if it did.
Yeah.
It could have.
It could have. But he played, a good career. He went overseas these last couple years. I think he was playing in France. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had, he lived both lives. He played here and overseas. Undersized player as well. I mean, to last that long is pretty incredible. But Kemba Walker, UConn legend. Thanks for all you've given to the moments of sports, and really appreciate you, man.
Cool. Thanks, Abe. Yeah, R.I.P. Kemba. Jessica, what
Not dead.
You got anything for the 2-minute drill, or are you just signing off today?
I actually was going to say something about Kemba Walker because he was like my OG, if you know, ball is life, hoops mixtape fella. But since you stole that, I found more people who deferred payment for their MLB career.
All right. Another trivia section. Who
Manny
else
Ramirez.
deferred payment? Manny Ramirez, really? With the Dodgers?
I don't know.
Sox?
I don't think they're. I think maybe the Red Sox 1.19. Chris Davis.
Yep. Never heard.
9.16 million.
It's like a regular name.
No, they signed Chris Davis to way too much money.
Matt Holliday.
And he sucked. Matt Holliday's son is the #1 baseball prospect.
Legend.
Shortstop for the Orioles.
And that's officially it.
That's officially it. Well, thank you, Jessica. Signing off for episode 4. You were phenomenal today. Abe,
brought the stuff.
Great job, Jess. I have a fun little 2-minute drill.
Yeah.
I don't think we should do necessarily commentary unless you're like feel really strongly about any of these. But
okay.
I'll give the example as the first one, but it's like the Foden before Foden, if that makes sense. So like the Phil Foden before
English
Phil
guy
Foden
as well. Or it's just
not always, but oftentimes, yes, the same country.
Okay.
So I'll just read them to you.
Okay.
Just to get your reaction, but I think that the people listening will find it entertaining too. But so they have here this account. The Foden before Foden was Jack Wilshere. You don't like that?
I don't like Jack Wilshere.
Oh, dude, he was a wonder kid.
Was he?
Anyway, I think they get better. Okay. But I watched Arsenal a lot too.
Arsenal,
so
it wasn't huge.
Wilshere was just always hurt. But
I know one that's on this list, and I would say absolutely not.
The Verts before Verts was Goetze.
Yeah, Goetze. Yeah,
that one's cool.
Yeah, that one's sick. I like that one.
This one is so recent. I can't believe this dude isn't relevant anymore.
Who are we talking about?
But the Yamal before Yamal is Ansu Fati.
Ooh, yeah. The
Barcelona like ran 21, 22.
Barcelona just runs their players into the ground. It's so heartbreaking to see these young talents that produce at the highest level, and then they play too many minutes.
He was wonder kid, and then he's gone.
He's still great in FIFA, but he's on Brighton right now, and he can't even get in the game.
Yeah, that's nuts. The Jude before Jude was Dele Alli.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I love Dele Alli, younger Dele Alli.
Yeah. Now, obviously, I'm not saying they're as good as these guys, but it's fun.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good.
I think it's a great comp, too, because they're like both taller midfielders that score goals.
Yeah. This one I don't love, but it hits the heart.
Yeah.
The Saka before Saka, Theo Walcott.
Yeah, so that's the one I don't like at all.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's really
it's just
relatable.
Pace FC.
Yeah, Theo, I think Saka's a much better soccer player.
For sure.
And Theo was much faster. But Theo's got some...
He's got some bangers.
Nice highlights.
Yeah, he's got some bangers.
You think he's nasty.
Yeah.
Gavi before Gavi.
Pedri.
Yeah, so,
they're like the same age, though. They're like 1 year apart.
Yeah. It doesn't even make sense.
At all.
Zaire Emery. Do you know Zaire Emery?
PSG guy.
Yeah.
Is he a center mid?
Yes.
Center mid.
Emery before Emery was Alwar. Those are pretty...
He was great in FIFA, though.
Yeah, he played for Lyon.
Yeah. He was watching League One.
This one you're going to love. This one is the best one. Doku before Doku. Yanazai.
Ooh,
you remember him?
My boy, yeah.
He was
an absolute legend
for like a year or two, and then he went and then he ghosted everybody. And then Olise before Olise.
I like this
Wilfred
one.
Zaha.
Yeah, Zaha was a beast in Crystal Palace.
So I saw that today. I thought that was cool. I thought I'd share with you and the fans. I have another one of all the years LeBron should have been MVP, but I'll let that go. They've got plenty of time. Anyway, that was our 2-minute drill. We got nothing left for episode 4. I hope everybody enjoyed. Thank you once again for joining us and sharing the Bants. We hope to see you next time. Have a good week.
You do the Carlo Anthony Towns. Yo, it's the worst thing ever.